Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay, and you are watching Shay with the Hobbies. I be reading, I be writing, I be creating. If you hear, it's probably because you already like that stuff. But if by some chance somebody tweeted and you found your way here, remember that I, like all of my content, is black with an extra big B. So you know you have been warned. And it is Juneteenth 2022. And as you see, there's nothing but melanin on your screen because what else would there be? So I'm going to shh and let my lovely co-host introduce themselves.
Oh, okay. Me. Hi, I'm Maya. I couldn't tell which way the thing was pointing.
The first person is always like, who, me?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Maya. Maya writes in various corners of the internet. Do I write? Ask me again tomorrow. Yeah, that's all I got. That's it. Next. Okay.
All right, I'll go next then. Hi, I'm Aaron Virtues. I'm a romance author, and I'm really loud on Twitter. That's usually where people know me from. I think that's it. That's all I really got.
Hello, I am Trap, aka Sherrell writes in these interwebs, and right now I'm focusing on my nonfiction. I write about missing minorities and get hate mail because white people don't really like that.
So the hate mail was a plot twist for me, but kisses. Hi, I'm Britt. My channel is Britt Writerly. It's a book and author too, where I talk about the intersection of literature and culture. ABC 1, 2, 3. If you like numbers and alphabets, you should head over to my channel. If you like what you like, you can hit that big red button, and we can be internet friends.
And
It'll always be the clarification between internet fans and actual friends for me.
I believe in boundaries, and I don't want to set expectations from the beginning. We don't really know each other.
I'm a shout out a few things about these people that I personally love and enjoy about what they do, because Aaron Virtues is an author, and low key he wrote the first ever threesome I read and was like, cold showers are a thing that exists, is all I'm saying.
It's true. Showers can be cold.
And when he says he's loud on Twitter, let me just say that, y'all, we have the same birthday. So let's just imagine the energy that I give, right? And then we got a black man with that energy. Is all I'm saying. Is it's fun. It's fun to watch. And I'll disappear from Twitter for like a week and come back and just be scrolling like, what I miss? What I miss?
Yeah, because I'm always talking with everybody. I mean, if it's a day that ends in Y.
If it's a day that ends in Y.
Exactly.
Right. Because
I'm likely fighting with somebody.
If there's one thing white people always gonna have, it's the caucasity, as we talked about.
Caucasity.
The caucasity.
Yeah, I'm not even on
and sometimes they tag in. Sometimes they have other non-black people tag in. So it's just like
and it's never welcome. I'm sorry, maybe that's just me being exclusionary, but there really becomes this where I'm like, if you're not black, I don't know why you're speaking right now. That's just how I feel. That's just me.
No, for sure. Because again, like, there's a reason y'all prefer to say people of color than black, and that's why I remind you that I'm black with a big B. We're not gonna lowercase it at all.
Capital B.
Hello, I'm not a woman of color. I'm a black woman. Please.
I'm a black woman. Heavy on the black, baby. Heavy on the black. Like, I don't know.
In the internet streets, they call her Heavy B. They don't, but you could start, because I feel like I'm gonna try to make that happen, like Gretchen was trying to mess with Fetch. Give me some time.
I love it. Also, literary lady, I totally see your comment, and who's updating the description box as we speak is I. So there's that.
Oh, somebody asked about. Hold on, let me put the link.
Well, I wasn't even looking at these.
Do you have a wrench? Did I give you a wrench? Let me know if I give you a wrench. Well, first post a comment, and then if you don't, I'll give you a wrench. I feel like you should have one, but if not, all right, y'all. So normally, what we do is talk about something like Juneteenth, of course, but anything and everything Black while we're sprinting. But we are here to get some words in because here's the thing: we all supposed to be writers, and I know that all of us have times where we don't write, and so we gonna write together today. Also, because your girl got 2 short story ideas. One is your doppelganger from an alternate universe is raised in an all-white family, and they've met you, and you gotta. What kind of horror would that be?
Right, your face is taking me.
Right, exactly. That was the face yesterday. Right. Yeah. And then the second one is my sorority horror story based off of us watching this video of all these like Caucasian girls doing this. It was like a sorority like welcome video. And he's like 2 white girls.
Welcome to the Pip's house.
In the room. I kid you not. It's like 100 white girls, I swear to you. But like you don't see the girls. All you see is their hands. You see nothing but hands. And they're like moving. And it looked like a living organism. Like, it looks like a living organism. Yeah. And I was like, yo, this is a horror story waiting to happen. So, last night I may or may not have gotten about 500 words in of like this idea. So your girl like
that's just real though. Like that's just real.
It is.
Man, on TikTok. Ugh, God.
It was on TikTok. It was on. That's how I found out about it. I was like, yo, it's kind of creepy. Y'all didn't think this. Y'all saw it. I wasn't.
No one outside the sorority saw this because it just feels like y'all were all like group thinking this, and so y'all were all like, yes.
And I was like, it's alive. That's what I thought, and it was in a good feeling. It was like,
oh boy.
No. So that's what I'm gonna be working on. What y'all gonna be working?
Can't relate. I'm working on. I'm sorry. I'm just like that. I can't. A Facebook. Stop. This is the Lord's day, and they're all God's children. I'm working on a YA fantasy. Hashtag third fantasy. For those of you who know, if you know, you know. If you don't, I can't help you today. But I'm working on this argument, and I'm ready because it's like everyone is gonna be told about themselves, and I'm just like, I'm ready to be petty. I am ready to be petty. Call everybody out. You're a coward. You're only speaking because we're together, and you feel some kind of way. I'm going, right now, I'm not gonna back your play. So I'm just ready for everyone to be called out of their name. And
well done.
Yes. Just like, let's be petty. Tell her she's weak.
Yeah, short. Cuss them out today.
Man, I'm telling you,
Jamaicans will put anything cussing where they're like telling you about themselves, even if they're not using profanity. So it's Jamaican.
Oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst. Like a granny hits you with a bless your heart, and she didn't call you an MF
the brown cuss out
with those 3 words. Like
Tabitha Brown. Yes. Tabitha Brown.
Man, oh my gosh,
your heart
so hurt. What must
the pain you must be
in? I'm a pray. Like I was like, yo, if this, like I cried.
I was so proud.
I was like, Wendy,
I was like, Wendy, girl, blink once if you need some help.
Girl, like, are you okay? Did she like come for your life and your edges? Because I feel like she did. And she didn't say not a bad word about you.
Not at all.
She didn't only bad word about you. Like, I don't know. I felt like she like uppercut you, but like that's just me.
It looked to me like heaping coals of kindness upon one's enemies. That's what I got from it.
Man, I was like this is what killing with kindness looked like. That's what I
got. I was like, oh, that's what it is. Because at first I was not a fan, but if it looks like this, I do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. You're making it look very attractive, Tabitha. Can I call you Tabitha? Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
That's funny. But yeah, she was nasty about it, right? And it didn't even look like she was trying to be nasty. Like that was the point.
She looked like she was asking you where you got your favorite dress from.
She was like, girl, sending hugs, sending kisses. Man, my mans. To you and your future mans, we praying for you, girls. Keep the faith. That's what it was giving to me.
Not keep the faith. I can't stand you. Not
I don't know.
Man, listen.
I'm just telling you what I got.
That hurt my feelings.
Nah, for real. I'm not a Wendy fan at all, like at all. And I was like, girl.
I wanted to give Wendy a hug.
Shoulder. If you need a shoulder, because that looked like it hurt. Like
it did, but it was deserved.
It was. Because she didn't send for you. She did not send for you. Her husband was minding their own business on Instagram. Why you?
She said, did someone ring my doorbell?
Man. In the words of Raheem Devon, let me serve you up. Like, because legitimately.
Dang.
Like, since I heard that song.
That's going to be stuck in my head all day. Thanks.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're totally saying what we're working on. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. Pettiness onto somebody else.
Well, I scout my stories through various missing person pages. So I'm gonna scout the stories that I'm gonna highlight for the rest of the month. It's still Pride Month, so I am highlighting missing trans minorities or just missing people a part of the Pride community. Unfortunately, when trans people go missing, that's why the hate mail comment came from. Apparently, people have a problem when you properly gender somebody and say, hey, this person is missing. So I've gotten everything for Nobody Cares to check the dumpsters. And I eat those comments for breakfast. So it's all good. I'm gonna add them to the diet.
I'm saying, because like the other part of this is like the internet made a lot of y'all people brave.
Yeah, really brave. No. My favorite is because they forget that I am a journalist at heart. Like the fiction writing and all of that came later. Baby, don't use your real name and picture because I will go find your LinkedIn page and send this to your employer. Don't play with me. Does your employer know your views and how hateful you are? Because if you got time, I got time with you.
If they agree, they can't agree publicly. So, like, you gonna lose either way it goes, buddy. Like, it don't make
that part. My favorite is when they use the same picture on the comment that they use on LinkedIn.
Oh.
I sent somebody an inbox. This you? They removed that comment so fast. Oh, okay, it was you. That's cute. Don't play with me.
Wow, I'm impressed because I don't have anything required to do that. I don't have the time, I don't have the investment, I don't have the skills. So I would just be a wash. I'd probably send it to Shay and she might be able to do all that. But I would just be like, I'm putting you on my prayer list. How about that? I'm telling my daddy on you. Our father,
I like that. Because I'd be like, I'm not wasting a prayer on you.
I didn't say what I would pray. I just said I'm telling my daddy on you.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
that part.
No.
I'm just saying my Lord will prepare a table for me in the presence of mine enemies. So,
hallelujah.
Well,
can we get an amen? And amen again. All right,
amen.
The amen.
I'll have church anywhere.
Okay, we got two more people who ain't said what they're working on, and then we're gonna say hi to the people. We'll go get in a sprint because it's been almost 15 minutes. Because, like, you know.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm working on my manuscript that I've been working on for like a month now, which is horror fantasy based on the dread queen myth of Persephone. Because I just write Greek myths for a living with niggas. So I'm working on that. I should be done by the end of the week. So hopefully I get a good amount done today. And then call it a day.
The whole manuscript you're going to be done with by the end of the week?
Yeah, I should be. Well, like, I think I'm at 75K words out of 100K words. So
nice.
After a month of working, is that what I'm just trying to keep up. Is that what you said?
I think I started I think I started at the beginning of May. So
Honey, I
It's
need
been a
your
while.
productivity hack.
I'm just trying.
Right.
This actually
Was
slow
like,
for me.
cannot
Like, this is
relate, nor can
slow.
I compute.
I'm about
Can you
to say,
sprinkle
'cause,
some of that on me?
I have 4 books in here, and I feel like they didn't all came out within the last like year and a half. So
That's amazing.
right,
Yeah, and I
and
only
they
got
not,
one
I'm
every year.
gonna
So
show y'all because
like,
these
slow.
things thick. They not no slim thick. They thick. Hold on, I'm gonna show you
The
with
two
like 2
C's.
C's.
I want to see. I want to see the.
Well, you only have 4.
Uh-oh. Shay, said you're carrying the lightweight.
You know, I
think you
believe
missing
it
one.
because like they
Girl,
literally
like a lexicon.
like this one, this
Oh yeah,
one
those are the girls of the
slim,
series.
and then like they get thicker, like then the thicker as they get better. I'm
It's
just
giving
saying,
omnibus.
I'm just saying, I really do like. Yes, if we got y'all. I mean, I
Wow.
wouldn't give these away because like they to me, so like I'm gonna just have like double copies of the book if there's an omnibus, but I still want it because like y'all know I like them thick.
You like them a little thickums.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get into it, Kenyon. I haven't read them, but I love romance. It's like a palate cleanser for me. When fantasy is just getting too much, I'm like, y'all are being a little bit
And I mean, I'm not saying that like I like it because Hades is black and he got a Zeus is the stepbrother and he ain't really black, and it's just like get that motherfucker for me, and I just be like, get him. Can somebody get Zeus? Like, why does nobody ever stop this mud? Why is he always just wreaking havoc? And I am thankful.
I want to know. I want to
I'm
know.
thankful for the change.
Because I didn't understand anything but pettiness, which is enough for me to be interested. So I'll grab a copy. I'm interested.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, and that's how I got it requested at my library. So like I like sent it and got them in there. So like that's
are there audiobooks? Are there audiobooks?
No, I did ebooks.
Not
No
yet.
audio. Like it was.
So I'm probably gonna do that
Okay.
myself next year. That's kind of the plan right now.
Get your coin.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah, 'cause
twin, did
I had-
do that like that
They were
recording
gonna
studio
do them,
at
but they didn't
home
want to do them
thing?
for niggas. They didn't want to hire niggas to do it, so I backed out of the plan.
Who?
Oh yeah,
I
no.
understand that when I read Black characters, I don't want to hear Caucasian voices. Like it takes the
And I've done
immersion
before,
out
I'm
of
like,
it.
what is this?
And I don't understand that because our voices are distinctly different. Sometimes
Yes.
we're not a monolith, no, but make it believable.
Exactly.
And the way we say stuff is different. Like, I mean, we
Right,
talked about
exactly.
that when we did the last one, Black Women Speak. Like when we talked about the man, he was like, when a black person read, they knew that it said shit, and a
Or
black person
child.
was like, "Did you put too many T's in this?"
Right. First of all, it should be a D, not a T. First of all, and
Right.
foremost, it's a D.
You
Not a
gotta understand the lexicon.
Yeah. Or them reading child as Chile.
Man, that Wu Chile, I'm not gonna hold you. That Wu Chile gets me every time because when I say it, that's really what I mean.
It does, but you gotta know. But it only works if you really know that it's child.
Exactly.
And you
It
really
only works
believe
if
it's
you know
Chile.
that
And you
I'm
can
just
tell.
like, you're the joke. It's you.
The way, I will never forget the way she just knew that wasn't the word she got wrong. She was like, "No,
started
W,
spelling it,
W." Like he was like, "What?"
Spelling it.
Lord have mercy.
I died. She was like,
The
chili.
way his eyes, like I
country.
swear that was the definition of eyes popping out of your head because he was like, "Whoa, nah."
Oh gosh, white people. Just know you will never. You will
Man.
never live that down. There is so many
one of our
things
favorite
on your tabs
pastimes is
you'll never
watching y'all try to talk like us, like legit.
That's and I am now to the point where if I hear you misrepresenting AAVE, I am going to back your play.
I am.
Go
Oh,
on, girl.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm going to hype
You
you
on,
up.
girl.
You have never been hyped. Like,
I'm not
you
afraid
ain't nobody hype you like a black woman. I'm gonna be that black woman hyping you because I want you to be loud and wrong for the rest of your
Loud
life.
and
Like,
wrong.
literally. Loud and wrong for the rest of your life. And I want you to be like my black friend. I really do. Like now, I really had no problem with that. Like say that. Yep. Sure did.
When they come to me and be like, I am not her friend.
What are you talking about? Huh? Friend? I feel
Exactly.
like
I've never seen her
I
before.
would be like, I'm gonna hit you with that hustle game. We use that word too loosely because everybody ain't your friend. Like,
Hello?
like, I'm sorry. No.
They listen to me as a
I
reference.
feel like
I
Facebook
don't
got
have
that
any
confused.
character
It's just because you
reference.
follow me and I add you, don't make us friends. I need y'all to understand this is social media,
That
not
part.
Don't be fooled by the coding.
at
There was
all.
no acquaintance was not an option. They just said friends.
Right.
You know, and I didn't want to be
Because some of y'all
next
would
door.
definitely be acquaintances. Very few of y'all would be associates, and even less would be friends. Like,
That's
Maybe
true.
all one of you.
some of y'all be the
Feeling
mug
fine.
that I saw walking across the corner and didn't even nod to. Like, that's a
Hello.
category quite a
Sorry
few
to
of
that
y'all could
man.
be
I don't know that
in,
man.
you know? Right, hit you with the Kiki Palmer. I don't know that man. If I saw
Sorry
that
to
man, I
that
would
man.
not know who he
Hit
is.
you with the Mariah Carey. I don't know her. I don't know her.
Mm. All right,
girl
we
with
got
the pretty
people in
dress?
here. We got comment. Hello. I don't know. It says I'm a writer, and then my eyes can't read the rest of that. But hello, it's good to see you. I had the glasses and everything. Happy Juneteenth, Pat. Pat is our resident subscriber from across the pond, who we love dearly. Literary lady, hello. Ooh, avatar change as well. Come on now. You know I peeped it. You know I
Okay
peeped
with
it.
the glasses.
Latrice, hi Queen, happy Juneteenth to you as well. Bina in the house, hello. Literary lady, so where can I find your writing, Sherrell? Do you remember the series hosted by S. Apatha? Find Our Missing was the show. I've never heard of that.
Find Our Missing. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm on them too.
girl, I have to check that out. Yeah, and I'm updating the links now, so like it'll be there before the live is over. I'm gonna work on a reading project for the first sprint and then actually write the next. Nice. Jules, hello. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you guys who don't know, Jules is an author tuber who streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday writing sprint. So if you're looking to get them in during the week, that's someone you can follow. Sandy, what's good? Shout out to this distinguished panel. Sandy is also an author tuber and a booktuber and 1/4 of the Voltron Book Force. We will actually be live on his channel next Sunday evening. So make sure that you're following so you can be there. Tab was nice, nasty. Vina is right. Elder Black women know how to cut you deep. And here's the thing. I'll be honest. My grandma was never one of the people with tact. My grandma was just like very just like, I'm her daughter. So like, let's just go from there. So like the last like serious relationship I had before Paul, like she did not like dude. And when I tell y'all, she looked me in the face and was like, that boy's a bitch. I don't know how you stand it. And I just stood there like, oh, we just don't. That's just.
Oh my.
Okay, grandma. Okay. Mind you, we had to get back in the car with said dude for another 2-hour drive back to Oklahoma. Yeah, it was an interesting night. It was an
I like grandma.
grandma, right? Grandma don't pull no punches. Kaylee popping in to smash the like. Thank you so much for being here. Jill says, when somebody says I'll pray for you in that context, it's because you messed up. You need all the help you can get. Pray for some brains, a second chance, promises, and to come to Jesus. Here's the thing. The way I be like, some of y'all really need to have come to Jesus meetings. And I know y'all ain't never really had one. Like you ain't never had people in your corner to have one with y'all because they let y'all say some wild stuff, boy.
Man,
that's how I know y'all don't got real friends. Like that's how I know. Cause they check you. Cause mine would definitely be like, why is that on? Why is that? Why? Delete that. First of all, why didn't you text me? What is the internet saying this before me? I'm just saying. Some of y'all don't got a group chat and it shows. She said, wasting prayer. You know me. And you actually read the original mess. Ooh, are we going there? Are we going there about people not reading the retellings they trying to retell? Because Jesus, I just don't understand it. Speaking of Juneteenth, did y'all ever read that romance collection that's supposed to be about Juneteenth, but most of the stories are? You answered your own question by finishing that sentence. You know we did it. You know we did not. There's a word in there that you know Cachet didn't read. There's a word you know I didn't. You just know I didn't. That's all I'm saying. I don't know about nobody else, but you know it wasn't me. Alicia, hello, love. It's so good to see you. I hope you had a fantastic day today. They just said, hello, I was trying to write with y'all, but I'm with my nephew babysitting. You know, here's the thing. Kids make great like what's the word? Inspiration for stories. Cause I promise you, I get like one-liners from little kids all the time. Cause they just say whatever is on their mind and I love it.
Whatever.
Hi, Jenna. Hello. Man, like I promise you, you don't know you don't know if you're pretty if a kid don't tell you you're pretty. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you. Cause like when a kid tell you you beautiful, like
believe them.
Oh, that makes my whole
like,
Telling
like,
the truth.
man, you for real? You think so, cousin? Thank you. I appreciate it. You good.
Have y'all seen that reel where the woman asked her husband, "Babe, would you love me even if I got fat?" And it's the camera is only pointed at the husband, and he's picking up water. He's like, "Yeah, of course, babe." Straight face, like he's sincere. And he takes a sip of water, and from off screen, one of their kids is like, "But mommy, you're already fat." He said, "I'm already so fat."
I did see that.
Man, kids
That was hilarious.
Life. Like kids, man. Don't nobody steal your
That baby
comedy.
said, "If you were fat, he loved you
He
still,
said,
don't he?"
Mama, I feel like the baby was just like, Mama, why are you asking him a question you already know the answer to? Like,
Don't
I
he
feel
love
like
you
that
now?
was the baby's thought. Not like, Mama, you fat, but Mama, like, you, he love you right
He
now.
already loves you as a fat person. Why are you asking?
And it's the innocence of children for
It was
me.
genuine confusion. Like,
Right.
Mom, I just want you to know you're already there.
It was. No, like, so when we were kids, my little cousin, he had like no tact whatsoever, and he was just very curious. So like, you know, sometimes people work jobs and they don't have teeth, sometimes. And for him, he was legitimately like, Grandma, why they don't got no teeth? But like in the person's face, because he was a baby. And I didn't understand.
Y'all, I swear, my son tried to take off our neighbor's prosthetic leg, and I have never been so embarrassed. He was like 1.5, and he'd never seen anybody with a prosthetic leg. So he outside, he looked at the dude's leg, and then he looked at his own leg, and he looked at dude, he kept going back and forth, and then I'm thinking, don't do it. Don't do it. He walked over there, put his little tiny chubby fingers around his prosthetic leg and did like this.
Oh, no.
And I just wanted to melt into the ground. That man laughed so hard. He said, when I tell you I love when kids do this, because kids are so pure.
That's a regular occurrence. He said, I was waiting for this.
Yeah, man.
And that dude was young. He had a really like horrific car accident. So his leg was cut off like mid-thigh. He was out there playing basketball. Like, he did not let that slow him down. But he said, it's only when adults. He was like, it's only when adults treat me crazy like they don't know what's happening. Kids are pure. He said, I get a kick out of this.
He's like, you really don't know.
The L
get yourself together.
He was like, what's wrong with you? Where your yag? Where your yag at?
Kids are
trying to get mad at the whole word correctly.
While I was done, I said, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go die now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So like a couple of weeks ago, Titan decided to run up on another dog, and I'm literally yelling at the top of my lungs, "Who raised you as my dog?" Because I'm so mad. Like, you ain't never done this before. Why are you embarrassed?
Picture this entire scene.
Your fur babies and your human babies will embarrass you at every chance they get.
Embarrassed, y'all. I was
They
so
do not
mad.
care.
I'm over here like cussing and yelling, like, I'm sorry. He ain't never done
I
this
said, I'm gonna
before.
go for it.
And it's the part that made me mad is like, I know he like, yeah, your dog ain't never done this before. No, he really ain't. Like, this is not normal behavior.
It's like, that's what they all say.
Right. Y'all.
You're a bad fur mother.
Yes, Salty, you coming through? Nothing beats my 5-year-old little brother telling me that I wouldn't be single if I wore more lipstick.
Oh,
Kids be coming for you.
They don't care, bro.
And that is why I ate all your fruit snacks.
That's why I ate all your fruit snacks.
So there, I don't. Dylan, how about that? All your fruit snacks gone.
Not people really celebrating emancipation from white people by reading writing stories about loving them. You know,
I can't.
it's the
It
Stockholm
don't make
syndrome for me.
Truly.
That's
I,
crazy.
Right. I miss working with kids. They stay kissing up. I had a kid convinced he was gonna marry me. Man, kids be on it. Like one of my favorite channels to or pages to watch is Simply Madison Jade, and I love whenever her mom does that throwback when she was like, "I want a boyfriend," and she was like, "Maddie, you don't need a boyfriend. You too young." She was like, "Yeah, but I want a little boyfriend," and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell your daddy," and Maddie goes, "Look." Like, bro, don't
No, don't do that.
don't do that. Don't do
She
that.
already knew.
And
That's
she
a good one.
already knew.
No, don't tell Big Man.
She already knew.
Mm-mm. Maya, you didn't tell us what you were working on.
Oh, nope. I sure didn't.
30 minutes in, and we still, it's
So,
okay.
should I be working on Project Life Guide? Absolutely. Should I be
Life
working on this untitled story that is X-Men meets Cinderella? Absolutely. Am I doing either of those? No, because I have a work project due Wednesday. So
Well,
that's me. I have to
It's
get
the
through
enticing us with the things you not gonna work on for me.
just snatching
Like
it away.
everybody's eyes was
It's
like,
like, no.
okay, what's that? Okay.
I'm listening.
But I'm not working on none of that I just told y'all about. So don't even
I'm just
ask
gonna
me.
do my day job. Thanks, kids.
Well,
Right. Okay, y'all.
I got y'all next time.
We gonna have it next time for sure. Okay, so let me get this timer up. We're gonna do 20-minute timers because I'd like for us to do more sprints than less sprints to make myself feel better. So there's that. Because if we
So
do
it's
30, it'll be
psychology
like
of it
2
all.
sprints and we're gonna be done. We do 20, it'll be like 3 sprints, and I'll feel like 3 is more than 2. Okay. Yeah, that's how that
That is
math
right.
works.
It's not
That is how
wrong.
that math works. Thank you. All right, y'all. We got 20 minutes on the timer. We're going to use the lovely Lizelle Sandberry's timer. If you are not following Lizelle Sandberry or you have not purchased Blood Like Magic and its sequel, Blood Like Fate, that comes out in a couple months, and you're not on the lookout for Delicious Monsters that comes out in February 2023, what are you doing with your life except sucking at it is all I'm saying. So you remedy that. All right, y'all. In 3, 2, 1, let's write these words. right. How did everybody do? Let me know how you did in the comments. How did my lovely co-host do?
I got 4 of 24 done. So yeah, halfway there. Yeah, this is gonna take a minute. But we're making progress.
I got 250 words, but they were a good 250. I was sort of struggling with whether to write this because the guy is kind of nice, and he asks the girl who's really very sweet. She said something. I don't even remember what she said, but she said something to him about him being like, "Oh, she said you crumble like a cookie," and he said, "Are you dumb?" And I really had to sit with myself for a second because I was like, this is the most disrespectful thing that he's ever said, as far as the reader knows. I was like, maybe I should take that out and be like, are you serious? I can't believe you said that. But I was like, if I were to read her finally like stepping into her own, and then he responds with, are you dumb? I literally would be like, oh. And I was like, well, that's what I want to happen. So I'm gonna let him ask her. I'm gonna let him ask her, is she dumb?
Well,
This
dang.
is being petty at this point.
I'm not gonna. So I haven't heard that question so much as I've been watching Catfish. Y'all don't judge me. I had never seen it, but except for like recently. And like every time somebody asks somebody, "Are you dumb?" I'm hollering like tears fly. Like it's hilarious every single time. Every single time someone says, "Are you dumb?" Because like it's a real question. It's like it'd be like I'm really trying to gauge what I'm about to do next by how you answer this question. Are you dumb? And every time it's hilarious. Every time. So
I left it.
I think that I would have hollered reading the book. I'd be like, "Ooh, okay."
Well, prepare to holler. I was like, okay. I'm gonna let him go the way of the jerk on this one. But that's what I did. More pettiness down, more pettiness to come.
Nice. There's definitely 2 other people on the screen.
All right, so I got 443 words.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to go back and like edit a couple things, but 443 new words. So it's going all right.
Well, I didn't get any words down, but I do have 3 people's story I want to highlight. I want to highlight more men because I feel like I highlight more women, and it's only because I find more stories of women than men. But I'm going to make it a point to highlight missing men more.
So on that, I think it's interesting because it's not that men don't go missing.
The media doesn't care.
Right. Like that's the other part of that is like people don't care when it's a man. Like that's like a conversation people don't ever want to have. Like I commend you. I mean, you already done the work, but thank you for doing the work because man, especially like little black boys go missing all the freaking time.
What I used to, I used to be a dispatcher, and what I could not stand, it wasn't the calls that you would think bothered me. It was the lack of care when it came to missing minorities. College Park is a predominantly Black city in Georgia, and even us, oh, they just ran away. Oh, you know how these kids are. Oh, you know they bad. How do you figure that they ran away? Because our runaways, we know them. We know them. They run away all the time, and it's not that we don't care, but it's an expectation of, okay, they ran away, their home life isn't the best. They're gonna pop back up. When you have a person that pops up missing for the first time, the callousness, I couldn't fathom it, and I didn't understand with it, and it stuck with me. So when I found out about Newsbreak, which is where I have my page for now because I am gonna get my own website. I decided to make quests to write about missing people because I just get sick of us disappearing without a trace. Nobody should disappear without a trace. It's absolutely asinine with all of this technology. We still have police officers that they've turned people away. They've turned mothers away. Well, he grown, so I mean, it's not illegal for a grown person to just get ghosts. You can't tell somebody's family they can't report them missing. What in the world?
They're an adult.
And they did it every single day, and I could not stand it. So
sometimes I really hate it here.
Man, listen, I'm waiting for the aliens to beam me up.
Sometimes. Twin, did we both say sometimes? Then we both
Yes.
No.
It's all the time.
Like, sometimes. Every day, bro.
Ridiculous.
Every day I'm like, Earth is ghetto and I want to leave every single day. Like,
Listen, I used to play that song every single day to the point where my kids start singing it.
I was like, she got a hit with this one. She got a hit with this one because, bruh.
Yeah, it's just so many systemic stuff where it's like, this is an inhumane law to have. It doesn't make a lick of sense.
The crazy part is it's not even a law.
That's what I mean. It's like, we do have some asinine laws, but we have other things where it's just, it should not be up to the discretion of a single officer whether or not they care enough to make something a case.
And then when it comes like, look, just this last year, we saw an entire country going looking for a grown-ass white woman. And she was passed away, right?
The way I was texting Trap, like, if I get another notification about this girl that I don't give two F's about, I got notifications after notifications about that girl.
Do y'all know the crazy part about that is Gabby Petito's case? Her case was the reason I started Quest. So I just got so frustrated to the point, what can I do? Tiffany, you are a writer. Write. So the first story that I did after her case was missing white woman syndrome. That is a real term coined by a real journalist, Emmy Award winning, 30 years in the game. I'm trying to get like her. I cannot think of her name right now, but I'm on the next sprint. I'm going to put it in there. And the comments were crazy. Even us. People came on my Facebook page to argue with me about how I'm being divisive for writing about missing Black people. So I countered with this. And the person that gave me the most hell doesn't even live in America. You're married, you're in Japan, married to a whole Japanese person. Why are you mad because I'm writing about missing Black people? Like, why? You're not even vested in this country, sir. And so I said, you know what? There are about 8 billion of us on this planet. And that means that there are 8 billion different types of purpose and service work that you can do. If you see that I am leaving a void when you write your article about the missing people you choose to, I will share it. But you don't get to tell me what I can do with my service work. That's not what we're going to do. If you don't want to read it, don't. But you're not going to tell me what to do. Like, you're not going to tell me how to serve my people.
And quiet as it's kept, you might not be invested in this country, but you are surely invested in anti-Blackness because what did it have to do with you?
What
like that's the thing. That's the rub right there.
Because I'm feeling a void.
Everybody got time for anti-Blackness when they don't got time for nothing else. We saw that in the face of war. Y'all up here asking people to get y'all asylum and y'all keeping people from their own countries because they
biracial woman.
Again.
I had a biracial woman. We used to be co-workers. She got upset. Well, I just knew somebody was going to be mad about this coverage. Girl, nobody's mad, but it needs balance. Black people make up, so they say, 13% of this population. We know it's more than that. What pisses me off is we still make up more than a third of the missing people. So why do we not make up more than a third of the coverage? It's frustrating.
It's just the fact that, like, white people, if they're gonna get found, they're gonna get found anyway. Somebody's looking for them. It don't matter if it's on the news or not. Somebody's looking for them. The problem is everybody always wants to assume we did something wrong. We did something bad. Whatever
Oh my
happened to us,
God,
we deserved.
this,
We earned it, and it came to get us. Somebody came collecting.
this.
That's just the end of the story. But it's just
I
like if you
wrote,
asked the question, like if you sat for 1 inch, you looked at somebody and said, "This isn't just a black woman I'm talking to, or this isn't just a black person I'm talking to. This is a mother. This is a son. This is a person who actually deserves to have somebody listen to them because they obviously have a concern. It doesn't matter if you have the same stake in the concern. If you work for the fucking law enforcement, you should have to sit down and listen. And if not, you need to go get a new job. That's the whole point. Because what is the point of y'all? What is the point of y'all if you don't have to protect anybody? If you get to pick and choose who you give help to, get the fuck out of the way. Go sit somewhere, because why are you even coming to the call if you already decided you don't care? Because now you're just adding
it,
salt to the wound. Like you're opening up a
yeah,
whole new wound of this woman just whatever, her son just went missing or whatever, and then you come up to her and basically let her know, hey, he don't matter, you don't care. So it's just like, why are you even showing up? Be honest about that shit. Like just be honest about what you're
and
in it for.
the stereotypes that come with it. I wrote about um, mentally challenged teenager, a black girl, Naya Jingles. Maya Jingles has gone missing before, and it was everything from, oh, the mom must be doing something because she keeps getting away. It was a mental institution in my jurisdiction. They got away from a full guarded facility. So you don't think a teen can just slip away to, oh, she's probably out here in these streets. She needs to know the streets aren't for her. What the flip part of mentally challenged don't you understand? And why, when our girls go missing, is it they're chasing the streets? Do you realize traffickers are out here? Do you realize kidnappers are out here? Predators are out here. Why do we put the onus on a black child not to go missing and not the onus on the adults to protect them and to not
They're not
harm them?
children to
So
them.
it's just so
They're not
many
children.
layers
They
of
ain't never been kids
stereotypes. It's
ever.
ridiculous.
We were born adults. Every single nigga was
Every
born an
single one of
adult.
us. And
That was just the
it
fucking fact of
frightens
it.
me because my 11-year-old, I am 5'10" tall. I am a tall woman. My 11-year-old is taller than me. My 11-year-old is 6 feet tall, 150 pounds, solid. That frightens me because when we first moved here, we already had an incident of, why is that teenager playing with those little kids? Who's that big? Somebody needs to get him. And I'm listening to the conversation like, wait a minute, they're describing my child. So I had to tell him, oh no, he's 11. No, not that big. The young man over there. No, that's not he's 11. No, we're talking about, hey, that is my child. He is 11. So now they're looking at me and looking at him like, are you sure? Why would I not know my child's age, ma'am?
Why don't I know when I push this little motherfucker out? Like, wait a minute. Come on. Not you telling me I don't know what's going on with my own little kitty cat. Girl.
It is a very weird time because they no longer go to a predominantly black school, and the microaggressions. He had one teacher absolutely hated him. I don't know who my son looked like in her past, but and I don't play that blame game. Like you're gonna be accountable. You're gonna do your work. You're gonna listen to your teachers. But that he's just so aggressive, and I don't know why. No, we're not gonna do that. I don't mince words, honey. My son is not aggressive by any stretch of the imagination. He is just a playful 11-year-old. He does not being targeted, and he's not stupid. So it's draining work, but it's necessary work. And I just hate having to tell him that, hey, you have to conduct yourself in a manner that isn't seen as aggressive. And it breaks my heart to have to tell him to do that. Because that should not be the environment that he has.
No, I totally agree. There's something to be said about having to tell your child to shrink parts of themselves in order to stay alive. But like, that's part of the conversations we have to have that other people don't.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes it different, right? That's the part that people don't pay attention to. It's one of the things I was thinking about earlier. It's like everybody wants to say they're pro-black, but the truth of the matter is, being pro-black costs a lot.
They're pro black culture. They're
right.
not
Pro-black culture and
pro-black.
being pro-black are not the same thing. Because again, you have to count up the cost every time you dig in and research and find these missing people and write these stories and put those out here. That is work. It's not an easy thing.
And it's very draining to continue to see the evidence that people literally wish you were dead. Because that's what it is. Like when you allow that many people of a race to disappear, it doesn't matter if you didn't disappear them. You contributed to the disappearance by finding ways to not investigate it and not bring them home and to criminalize them along the way. Because when I was doing research for Tales of Eliza Bluff, and I was like, okay, what's the facts behind how people go missing and how it's handled? One of the first essays I read was by Professor Trevor Lindsay, and she was doing an essay for Women's Media Center, I think, and she was talking about the ways that police will find to like not have to look for people, and one of them was by saying that they were running away, because that could be an offense. Like you could get picked up for that, put in the system for running away. So they're like, oh, like if they're running away, we don't have to go look for them, as opposed to if someone actually kidnapped you or abducted you. And so I'm just like, it's all very just genocidal. It's all very genocidal.
Yeah, because it's not even like it's one thing if I felt like people just wanted me dead. And some days is what it feels like. It's like you want me dead. Like you're okay with me dying on your front porch. You'd be fine with it. When bat an eyelash, walk right over my body. All right. There's another thing. It's another added thing to it. When there are people who actually don't want you dead, they want to see you suffer. They want to watch it. They are that sadistic that they want to watch the systems they built and live off of torture you. Because if that wasn't the case, if they just wanted us dead, I don't think we'd have as many prisons as we do. You'd probably be shooting more people out on the street. And instead, they've built this entire system that every single day takes a piece of us. It's like the slowest possible death. Like,
yeah.
That's why I remember that quote, like, Southern racism will kill you themselves, and Northern racism will make you kill yourself for them. And that's so real because it's become this slow and painful death. And we are driving ourselves wild every single day trying to figure out how to get over it.
It's the number one reason why I am against watching any videos, because there's no part of me that doesn't think that they are malicious in what they do. Because here's the thing, I have never ever in my life watched you murder a Caucasian person on CNN over and over and over and over and over. But every time Paul was working, and Paul works in a call center, and when George Floyd died, on every TV,
every single one
call center, they played that over and over and over.
And what did that do? Like, for real.
You could have had of all the people that are in there in a place that's predominantly black working. That's what you have. There's no part of me that does not think that this is not intentional.
That's terrorism.
Right.
And it gets better, because when you work with the officers that would have been a part of that, and you have to bite your tongue, child, I needed some type of compensation.
Like, most people that watched it, it didn't inspire any empathy in people that were already empathetic to what was going on.
Right.
What happened how many white people did you have recreated? How many white people went and recreated it all over the world, doing that shit, pretending to recreate this fucking moment? They did it at the Capitol building. Like, they recreated this shit So it wasn't even, oh, this help. And that's why when everybody was calling for bodies, like you wanted pictures of the bodies of these babies because you think it's going to push people to action. Let me tell you something, not even just as a black man, but as a forensic psychologist, that shit don't work. That shit don't work. They do not care. You cannot move a person
No.
with no empathy to empathy. You can't do that. That shit's not incited. If you don't have it, you don't have it. It's like you have to flip a switch, but if you don't have a switch, ain't nothing finna happen. Like that's just the facts that you could throw, and it's the same thing why police were supposed to. I don't know if all of them did, probably not. But in general, you're not supposed to show serial killers pictures of their victims to make them feel empathy. Because 9 times out of 10, that ain't gonna happen. They
Right.
don't
Not out of 10,
care.
it's exciting
Like
them. They're
they
excited
don't
by
care.
it. They like
Yeah.
that. They don't get anything
They
Exactly.
like
negative
the
from
You're
it.
gonna make
attention.
them like you are now the person being fucked with. You are no longer in control of the interview the moment you do that shit. Because now everything that they do is to get those pictures back. Like they realize if they play along with you, they're gonna get more out of you than you get out of them. So it's just the fact is like if you have to hear it, like just hear if that's not enough to hear that a bunch of kids just got murdered and a bunch of cops stood outside and let it happen, if that's not enough for you, I cannot help you. You are a horrible fucking person. And I'm not here to, what am I
Full
going to do?
stop.
Rehabilitate
Like
you.
full stop. You're a horrible person.
Yeah.
Like you could hear
That's it.
that and not feel anything. You are a horrible human being.
What makes it even worse when you hear the stories about how the parents said the cops only went in to get their own children out.
But for me,
That
the
is
truth
not
is,
what you signed up for, sir.
you're a waste of a sack of skin. I don't know why you are allowed to breathe on this earth because you're a waste of a sack of skin. I just don't even get it. Like, why? And it doesn't make sense to me that we're supposed to feel bad for police officers because they put their life on the line. For
For
who?
who?
Bruh,
For
like y'all
who?
sit outside, fam. We could have done that. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
supposed
y'all
to
talking
feel
about
for you
training,
because you're
training,
willing to
training.
do what regular people don't, and you did it. Make it make sense. The math ain't math, and I really don't understand. Is this the blue y'all backing? Because I got questions.
Let me tell
Is
you
this the
something.
blue y'all backing?
If
Because
people
I got
demanded,
questions.
if people demanded that cops get errors and omissions insurance the same way doctors have to, because when we say, oh, sue them, I hope they get everything that they get. Okay, you do realize that you're hoping that the taxpayers pay for the officers' mistakes because the police department isn't personally responsible for those lawsuits. The
It's the
taxpayers are.
city. It's the
The
city.
banks make money on those brutality bonds. You can Google this. It's called a brutality bond. They pay out that money with interest, and the taxpayers, pay it back. It's absolutely asinine the way that we do policing and the way there is zero accountability. Because doctors know if I kill this patient, one, I can never practice again. And two, I have to pay for this. It should be the same way for police officers.
But then it's like
I
too,
think
because
it,
then you remember in going to war with a doctor, you have to pay. We try to get male practice for my grandpa. They wanted 10,000 just to do the autopsy. Like they won't do the autopsy automatically. You had to pay for that shit here. So it's just like there's so many steps to make sure you can't prosecute these people. So it's just like no, fuck, do away with the whole system. Get rid of them. They're not doing
Yeah.
anything for anybody that can't
man,
do for
that's the
themselves.
conversation
Because
they
guess
don't want to
what?
have. That's the
The people
conversation
that
they
they're
don't want to have.
protecting, like the people they're protecting, they can afford private security. They can
Right.
afford big fences and alarm systems and all this shit. And they got guns. So the fact of the matter is, this is a useless system. The policing system is useless as fuck. There ain't nothing that they've done, could do, will do that will be any good for society as a whole. And the fact of the matter is, they're taking money from all the places that could. So at this point, we've shoveled a bunch of money into a useless ass system. That's just the facts.
Right. Police don't stop crime. Like it's
But
proven.
they're not, and that's not their code anymore. It used to
Right.
be serve and protect. It
Right. It's
used to be.
literally for businesses.
It
Police
is
are
to
for
enforce the
businesses.
law now.
Right.
It is not to serve and protect. And you will get a business that get way more coverage and surveillance and all of that good stuff than a private residence.
Right.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
just ghetto as
ridiculous.
fuck. It's ghetto.
Ghetto. Hate it here. Hate it here. But my Black History Month fact for y'all who didn't see it scrolling that I learned was there's an Emancipation Park in Houston, Texas. It was bought specifically to celebrate Juneteenth. The 10-acre parcel of land was purchased by former slaves Richard Allen, Richard Brock, Jack Yates, and Elias Dibble for $800 in 1872. Can we just think about the fact that when they weren't free and whatnot, in less than 10 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, former slaves said, we're going to erect a park for us. Like, think about that. Like, less than a decade?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's why, like, it's interesting to me, like, the way that people deny that there's just a hatred for Black people. Because, like, no, because y'all gave us shit and this is what we did.
Yeah. And continue to do.
You literally gave us absolutely nothing. We had nothing in 1872. And this is what we did. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all gave us nothing. And no matter what y'all do, we still rise. It has to make you sick.
But I was literally about to say it makes you sick.
I see why it makes you sick. I see why. Like,
and I also see why you're so afraid, because if you take your foot off our neck for 1 second, that's why you're so
you cannot take your foot off our neck, and we can chop that bad boy off.
Right, because you see what we do when it's still there.
And that's what they're really afraid of. You're really afraid. Shay, what is it? Be meek and kind. Right. Beware the day they change their mind. You're so afraid of the day we chop your foot off our neck. You've been afraid of it for centuries. You've been afraid of it for centuries. And it's caused you to do so much madness.
If we were who you think we were, you wouldn't have a chance. Like, literally, if we were who you think we were, you would not have a chance. Like, do you understand? It's the same thing with everybody that they try to demonize. If we were the people that you continually say that we are, if we were aggressive, if we were violent, all this shit,
y'all wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't be here. Like, if Black people were really as violent, y'all would have been to stop killing Black kids. Because I'm telling you, y'all would be dead. Like, I'm telling you. Because you better not. I know that's why I don't have children. Like, I'm being perfectly honest. Because there's 100%. No way in hell that I'd have a child that you'd kill and somebody ain't dying. I don't care if it take law-abiding citizen 10 years before I get you. I'ma get you.
But I'm going to. Me and God have this conversation every day. And homeboy, no, I can't bring my child back. I can't give my child company. Play with it if you want to.
Like, here's
play with it what you want to. I will introduce you to the deity of your children if you mess with mine.
Bruh, I won't even enter the state of Florida because of my cousin. I pushed the baby out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I will be smiling in my mugshot if you find me. Because I'm being honest. Like, no, it's not. So we can't be that violent. We can't. Like, you're not going to ever catch me on CNN begging you to believe that they hurt my child.
That's the thing, too, is like, I ain't begging nobody.
I'm not begging you to see that my child exists. I'm not.
My face, you better kill me.
Right. Like,
that's
literally.
I ain't begging nobody for my life, for my folks' life. I'm not begging nobody for shit. So you better kill me and do it quick. Because we can go together. If that's the case. Because, like, this whole.
I mean, whether you do it quick or slow, you better make sure you did it.
Right. Yeah, just make sure you follow through on that. Because I did.
Because, I mean, just the audacity thinking that you can do it. Go ahead.
And that's why for me, it's like, no, we can't be that. We can't, because like the other part of that is, name me one massacre, right? Like, when did we ever?
And what frustrates
Give
me
me
so
one
much,
black lone wolf, please. I will wait.
Right.
what
Give me
frustrates
one
me so
lone
much
black wolf.
Right.
is
That's
that
so like,
we get into
when
the
have we ever
respectability
walked into a
politics
place
of
and
it
was
all.
like, I'm gonna kill white person, white person, white person, white person. Oh wait, you're black. I'm not gonna kill you. White person, white person. When have we ever? Don't worry, I'll wait in my Cat Williams voice. Like, for real.
Even the black people that hate other black people, like even the ones that y'all actually got to buy into your white supremacist bullshit, have never done that shit.
They still don't do
I
that.
think that says more
Nope.
about
They're quietly
this whole
hateful.
thing. But am I gonna assimilate to whiteness before I went off like that? Absolutely not. Again, because like we could duke it out if you want to, but the idea that you would ever get me on my knees to beg a white man for my life, you got me fucked up 5
That
different
just
ways,
would
because that is
not.
never
50
finna happen.
shades of
I'm
fucked
a
up.
movie scenario
If
that
I
I could
perish, I
never.
perish. Because I'm not asking you for nothing. If I gotta die, I'm going out with my head held high, and we just gonna do what it is. Because like, nah.
Trap, what were you saying? What were
I
you
said
saying?
50 shades of fucked up. No, but when when I was talking about the respectability politics, people want to say, "Oh well, black people do this and black people do that." I said, with poverty comes crime, and America is a segregated
For
place.
anyone.
So when you have proximity crimes, murder is 9 times out of 10 a proximity crime. Most black
For those
people.
of us that don't know, what is the proximity? What is the proximity crime?
Okay, let's say we're neighbors.
Okay.
We're neighbors. I commit a crime against you, not because, oh, I am this black person that hates other black people. You're who I live near. There are not many people traveling to commit crime.
Unless you have the resources, and usually you're white if you have.
And the other part of that is you're gonna stick out in neighborhoods you don't belong in, which makes it more likely you're gonna get caught.
Right.
Criminals are not as stupid as y'all like to act like they are.
So
especially if you talk about lifetime criminals,
burns my gears when I hear that foolishness.
Well, you said yes. I interrupted you to ask the question. Now I know what a proximity crime is. Please continue.
It's just there is no like a hate crime is so much more different than I'm poor and because of my environment, this is what I do crime. That happens in all poor neighborhoods. That shit is not going to be different. If you go into the white neighborhood, you instead of the cocaine, you might see meth instead of the and you're going to see the same busting into the cars, breaking into the houses, the lack of police, the lack of great police response times. Like these are not just unique to black people.
Yeah, they're not
poor
racial.
Poor neighborhood, no matter what race it is.
Right.
And for people to just to put this big pot of gumbo of, oh, Black Lives Matter, but y'all kill each other. Most people that kill another person, that person is of the same race. So what the flip do you mean?
Right.
What do you mean? It's not the same. It is not the same as the person who was supposed to protect me shooting me because I look like a threat, but y'all can take down a person that just killed 19 black people. I refuse to believe that.
I think that's when it comes, and that's why I get so frustrated when people start and Cachet knows. When people start using, and once again, Whitley checking in. Hi, if I sound classist, I'm so sorry. Sort of. But when people be using these big words, I just that's when I stop talking. Because I just want to see, does thou understand what thou readest? I just want to see if you know what you're talking about. Because when people start using, oh, it's intersectional, and oh, I wanted I don't need you to say the word intersectional. I'm just listening for if you know what that looks like. Because when you're always looking at something and you can only ever say race, even though it's actually a class issue, then you don't actually know what intersectionality is. You only know how to look at one thing, not how something intersects. There's that word. If you don't know how to see when multiple things are going on and one thing is primary. People are like, oh, well, Black people only talk about race. No, we don't. Black people recognize that there is gender, there is sexuality, there is class, there is geography. Yeah. Black people are fully aware of all of the things that we have to navigate. It's white people who are just getting literate in race and slowly and incrementally other things. But it's just like when people use all these big words, I'm just like, tell me that you don't understand what you're reading without telling me that you don't understand what you're reading. And that's the issue with what Twitter demics. A dissertation in 250 characters. It don't work that way.
I'm gonna add that to my lexicon.
No, we do not like.
I mean, white academics too. Shit.
Like man, like right? The ones that actually do have the degrees, and they still saying stupid stuff.
I'm saying, like, I have never seen so many people be so. Because I'm talking about the whole thing we've had going on Twitter with these fucking white academics who teach at HBCUs and are in charge of the damn slave archives being anti-black as fuck. It's like, how do y'all work in the how did you game the system so long and so hard to get tenure in these departments, and you're anti-black as fuck? You hate the people.
They didn't game the system. That is the system.
No, that's definitely the system.
And
yeah,
it's like
definitely the system. That's definitely the system, because the truth of the matter is like you're not you're very rarely gonna get tenure if you are pro-black. Like, just straight off. Like, it's easier if you're anti-black. Like, absolutely. It's easier. So like, nah, that's literally how the track goes.
The system.
There's been people
like, only 3% of black women professors are full professors. Like, fully.
Yeah, ours here, the ones that were here were on track, and stuff started to happen here that they ended up going, and because of like how Oklahoma's like college system is, they could get tenure at the HBCU, but they left Oklahoma State because they couldn't, because of the way things were going, even though they were on track too, even though that's what should have happened with what they were doing and how many classes and all that stuff. It's ridiculous.
I went to Georgia State, like, and we had a black tenured professor
teaching, though, like, not the system itself, but like the people that you're teaching. So the people that come out of an HBCU,
I get what you're saying. Yeah. No,
and they're much better suited to have these conversations, right? And they obviously missed whatever they're.
So you know what? I'm not even twin. I'm gonna say this, and y'all, some people is gonna feel a type of way, but it's because a lot of these kids went to HBCUs to get their black cards.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So that's why they're not having these conversations. It's because a lot of these kids really they don't see the anti-blackness because it's in them.
I think, well, a lot of kids went to the big HBCUs to get their black card, especially like most of the kids that went to.
Most of the little clique, the little clique of trap pub. There's quite a few HBCU grads in that little clique of trap pub.
Shay, click the next comment. I was tittering. I was kikiing about the darling writer calling people a washing machine. I got a little chuckle.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
They aspire to be a washing machine. Those are my chuckles for today. Thank you.
I'm just saying.
Man, listen, I remember being at Georgia State as a young adult and having a white professor openly complain to us about our black tenured professor. The level of unprofessionalism, because he wasn't tenured and she was, and he couldn't figure out why, and openly discuss this with us. And I'm just like,
that's what
they couldn't figure out why always messes with me, because very rarely, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, does the black woman's resume not show you why she got there? Like, she
was abundantly clear.
Asking this question.
So that's
you
the
don't
part.
know
Like
what these people
when y'all
doing.
talked about Ketanji Jackson, here's the thing. Here's the truth. If we're being 100% honest, y'all only care because she's black, because y'all didn't have a problem with none of her voting, with none of her decisions, or anything. The truth of the matter is she's one of the most conservative black women they could have picked. Is the truth.
Exactly.
So, like, the truth of the matter is it wasn't like it wasn't a good pick for y'all any fucking way, if we're being honest. But you
But that's
put
the
her
problem
resume
too.
next to everybody, and there's no comparison.
Right.
That part.
And here's the problem. This is the problem too, because just her, she's a perfect example of Republicans are just gonna hate you because you're black, but liberals are just gonna like you because you're black. They don't give a fuck what your politics are at all, as long as it's they
Right,
think that
because
you're
the
on their
truth of the
team.
matter is
They don't give a fuck.
she was not a good liberal choice at all. Like, at all.
Like,
Black women or not.
like,
Black
yeah, I'm saying, like, and that's just the thing too. Is the same thing. It's like you have all these people who are so protective of Kamala, and they're so, oh, we got, a black vice president. This is such a okay, but how does she treat trans
proximity to
women?
whiteness.
She was top
Yep.
cop. Why does she call herself top cop? You're okay with a black person who calls himself top cop when cops are literally killing us every single day? You all right with that? Like, you're fine with that? Like a perfect way to start this legacy? Absolutely fucking not. And every time you call her out on something, you got all these fucking black people like, well, but she's black though. I don't fucking care. I literally don't care. I'm black and trans. I don't get to just care if they're black, because they could still want me dead. So think about that for a second, and then try to have a conversation with yourself about why you're okay with, as long as they're black.
Because the truth is, all
where's
skin
the
folk ain't
nuance?
kinfolk. And being black is not enough.
Exactly.
Being black is not enough.
Because
It just isn't. Like, it's not. You have to be pro-black. Like, that's full stop. Because the truth of the matter is, being pro-black means that you are going to have to make sacrifices. Everything that feels good for you isn't going to be done, because it's not the good of us as a whole. Like, that's the truth of the matter, right? So it means, yeah, maybe I don't end up being vice president because some of the things that I vote for are for the betterment of black people and not for the betterment of my party.
and that's it. That's
and everybody can't do that. And that's something we got to be honest about. Everybody don't want to do that.
And it's just, it really is just, the fact is, like, you have to be prepared in every stage, every industry, whatever it is. You have to be able to say, these are my morals and this is what I'm not going to negotiate going forward, no matter who asks me and what they're asking for. I'm not willing to cross this line and do this. And then it's also the thing too, and I talk about this more in publishing, but every time we talk about it, because you will see all of these black authors go into publishing, sell their souls, start talking like a white woman, think they're a white woman, get treated like a black woman still, and still turn around and talk shit to their people about their people. And I just want to ask them straight the fuck up, all right, if you ever have to go back to your community and look them in the face off of your little pedestal that the white woman gave you, are you okay with looking your community in the face? Are you going to be proud of what you did and how you responded to them whenever they gave you criticism about the way that you were portraying them? Are you going to be okay with the way that you portrayed yourself? And if not, I think you need to step back before you take up this book deal that you got, or this whatever that they gave you, whatever sold your soul for. I really need you to think about it, because understand, you are still black. That means that pedestal is not forever, and they will snatch you off of it the moment they don't like anything you say. So it just,
oh yeah, no, they will come for you the minute you
like,
say something that ain't right. They will remind you very quickly.
Yeah, this idea that you have all of this immortality immediately the moment that you taking this money or whatever that they giving you. Like, girl, now you old. Now you're never gonna be able to do nothing you want to do. You better not switch up on them. They're gonna kick you out. They'll find somebody else to pretend to be white. They will find somebody else. There are a million other people in line for your job.
I'll always tell my children this. I would rather you hate me for me being me than for you to love me and I'm not okay with any day I'm on this earth. Like, that is a lot of pressure and just ridiculous. And I can just be myself. And if you don't rock with it, that's fine, because I'm being my authentic self. Why would I want the praise for this mask I have to put on? And not just the physical, I'm gonna change how I look and I'm gonna change how I talk, the emotional, the spiritual. Like, how do you live your life every day not being you?
Okay, because I'm gonna be honest, I had to do it for like 6 months living with my adopted parents. And when I tell you that was the most suicidal I've ever been in my entire life, when I tell you every day it was like a struggle not to kill myself, because I was literally like having to wear a mask because I was around white people all the time.
I didn't even wear a mask when I was a dispatcher, and that almost got me fired.
And that it is not healthy.
No.
There is nothing healthy about that.
Nothing.
There is nothing healthy
literally
about
you're
that.
holding a bunch
and if
of
you
fucking
think that you are
shit.
happy in wearing that mask, you are mentally ill, sweetheart. That you need a therapist, a psychiatrist, because that is not
a priest.
Okay. It is not how it's supposed to be.
It ain't, and that ain't.
And you can't tell
like,
me
that's not, like,
writing fictitious Twitter things about being on airplanes and watching 12 Years a Slave don't make me think that you don't got mental illnesses. I'm just saying.
Wait,
don't make me think that you. It made me think that I need to say extra prayers for you.
Who did this?
Do not get her started.
I'm not.
No, get started. Go ahead.
Because she's a don't. I'm just saying. It was like, girl.
That's a bad conversation. That we're in this company right now.
You know what?
Company.
I can't type in the chat. I type in the chat. I can't type though.
I typed in the chat. You childish.
Wait,
like the way that I read that, and I was like, no, it was legit a Brit. Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
Like, it was embarrassing for all of us.
No, that wasn't Angie Thomas.
It was embarrassing for every motherfucker every nigga that had to read that day. It was the most embarrassing.
Did y'all put in the chat who did it?
No, I mean someone did, but it wasn't Angie Thomas who did that.
No, it wasn't Angie Thomas. What did Angie Thomas do? What did
Nothing. No, she didn't do what you're describing. That wasn't her.
Yeah, no, it's in the private chat.
Yes.
Tiffany Jackson did the airplane. Yeah, the airplane bit.
I was like, I'm gonna just put the name. I can't even with you. Twin was like, I mean, she put it out there.
What did you do? I missed all of that, and I follow her page religiously.
She
girl. I mean,
she must have taken it down.
You follow her page religiously.
He was clowning.
That girl.
Black Twitter was clowning that day.
Black Twitter
clowning.
I missed all of it.
I missed it too. Shay be telling me all this stuff. I
think I got the screenshot somewhere.
I don't know. I'll find it. I have a screenshot somewhere. I find it. So pretty much what happened was
like in February because it was during Black History Month.
It was during Black History Month. It was wild.
Y'all know when I started the publication, I really wasn't on social media like that because I just got so tired of the back and forth that I backed up.
So pretty much what happened was that she was like, if she got on a plane and like somebody like questioned her about being in first class. And so because they questioned her about being in first class, she sat down in first class and put on 12 Years a Slave and fast forward to all the really bad parts. And then when she got up off the plane, the man held her bag and like carried her bag off the plane. So it read real dumb, fam. Like, it read like
it did not happen, and you know it didn't happen.
It read like
I'm gonna be eating and drinking and going to sleep on this long flight. I don't have time to worry about you.
Why do you know where the bad parts in 12 Years a Slave are? How many times have you watched
Why did you have that movie on you?
I've never watched that movie, by the way, and I won't be doing it.
I've never seen it. We'll never see it. Why do you know?
Nope. It ain't for me. Honey? It's not for me.
Yeah, that movie went for me. I'm good.
I just was like,
and neither are. That's what I'm saying though. That movie wasn't for me, and neither are her books. Apparently, because shit.
Man, wow. Okay, so Tiff, I have read. Like I tried to give her a chance. I've read 4. Is it 4 now? It's 4.
No, she got
read
5.
one.
She's on 6 now.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you how many I read. I read the
Oh,
last
wow.
one I read was the one that came out last fall. She'll never get another read from me again in her
Nope,
life.
that was my first,
She'll
and
never
that should be my
get another
last.
read again for me in life.
So I have them and I haven't read them. You making me sad.
Just say that you hate black kids. Just say that shit.
No, that's how I feel. Just say that you
Say
hate
it.
black kids and
Say you
just
hate
leave
black
it at
kids.
that's what I feel
That's
like.
it. That's
I
all you need. Same
legitimately
with
feel like that.
Tracy Dion needs to just say she hates black boys and calls it a day. Say you hate black boys, stop writing about the shit. I don't want to hear it no more. Like, that's just what things, like, you keep giving these people who do not like their own communities and feel so excited because, oh, I was the only black kid in my community. And then you go and put it in fiction. Girl, you need to go to therapy. That's where you need to go.
That's what you need to do.
To us. If you were the
We
only
done
black
all
kid,
been the only
you
black
should not
kid
be
at
writing
one
about
point in
it.
time. We've all adjusted fine, honey. Go talk to somebody about it. Get you some black friends. I
don't know what those papers are doing, but I hope they all right.
Yeah, we got social media now. There are no excuses.
There's no reason. There's no reason.
No excuses. No excuses
it's
at
weird
all.
to me. And then back to
like,
you went to a
White Smoke was
HBCU.
really just-
Why do you still have these issues?
Yeah, for nothing.
I want to see stories of black babies being the heroes, inventing some stuff, some coming of age where they don't even talk about white people. Some I got my first kiss. I went to first base. I got my group going.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want I want a One Tree Hill or Dawson's Creek, but in a black story.
Right.
Like, literally stop including everybody. They only include us because they want diversity points. We don't need to include them. It's the same thing with Juneteenth today. Why do we commercialize it? We should have kept it to our motherfucking selves. Nobody needs this. We don't need to share everything with everybody to be liked. Fuck them. If they don't like us, that's their problem.
Y'all don't want me to be in Congress because I'd be like, only black people celebrate Juneteenth and the rest of y'all can have 4th of July because we wasn't doing nothing anyway. Like, that part. Really? Like, because why?
Like, all of y'all need to go to work and y'all need to stay there.
You need to be at work. It's not a bank holiday.
And your whole paycheck goes to me
already. So go to work. You was free. This day ain't for you.
No, but I'm saying, like, you go to work, you don't get paid for that day. Unpaid labor that whole day for all white
you
folks.
Get one unpaid day. Hey, I just feel like it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me too. That's the least y'all could do. Shit, the least.
That part.
The very least.
Because we're not gonna talk about taxation without representation. Because if you want to be real, y'all want to talk about
close all the prisons.
All you really need to do is just not tax descendants of enslaved people for the rest of their life, and I'll be good with that.
No, I'll do you one better. If we want to talk about taxation without representation, why are you telling people, hey, go get rehabilitated in this for-profit prison and you have to do this job and this white company has the profit? Oh, but when you get out, I'm gonna tax that ass, but you can't vote. Good luck, player. What? It's the goofiest system ever.
It's crazy to me that you can go to jail for 2 years and have to pay taxes the rest of your life but can't vote.
Did you see that lady that went to jail because they let her vote?
Because they let her vote.
She asked. She had no idea. She said, hey, I want to exercise my right, but if I can't, I understand. Oh, no, you're good. Oh, by the way, let's get that ass back to prison.
Like, you have to go back. You have to go back into society and you lose rights. That don't make no motherfucking sense. There is a reason that they do that. Stop acting like they don't.
But you got judges telling rapists, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to give you any time for this 30 seconds of fun. Nigga, when is rape fun?
I mean, I don't care if it was 30 seconds. Like, you shouldn't have done it. Your life should be over. Done. I got family that's in there for weed. We in there for weed and you violated somebody's body. On my life, I don't see the difference. I really don't see why you out and he not. It really don't make sense to me.
I mean, they made a difference between cocaine and cocaine. So make it make sense.
Right.
I'm saying,
one got water and one don't. One got baking soda, one don't. And so because of that, it's 20 times. Are you serious?
It's crazy.
The fact that you have to have like an astronomical amount of cocaine to add up to what you had to have for crack to get the same.
My favorite is, hey, y'all know how all y'all niggas in jail for weed, Yeah, we're gonna let this white soccer mom. I will never forget this. Good Morning America or the Today Show or one of them little white morning shows with the news anchors had a show of suburbia moms talking about, well, marijuana just makes me become
Makes
a
me
better
a better
parent.
parent. I
Listen,
remember
I
that.
put in the chat, I said, damn, I wonder if marijuana made these black dads better parents and y'all just threw their ass in jail. They deleted my comment so fast. Because how? How do y'all just let these people get on live television? And it was not legal. Like this was years ago. And just openly claimed they smoke weed. And that was like, oh, this is so progressive. The fuck?
Exactly. But if it let it been black people, they'd have got their kids taken away. They'd have gone to jail.
Right,
Like,
that
it'd
would have
been a
been the
whole
next
thing.
week's 60 Minutes.
Like, y'all
How
would
the
have
kids
lost
have
all
gotten
these
taken away
kids.
after
And
the live interview.
which is
Because it
the
wouldn't have
whole
been
other
okay.
thing. Like, that's a whole other thing. Is the whole reason that you have that is you're able to take kids out of their houses and then give the resources necessary to stay in the house to another family to raise those kids. It's like y'all created these bumfuck systems and wonder why nothing works. Like, there's a reason that shit don't work, because it don't make sense. Like, just
not at all.
stop for 1 second, really look at the motherfucker and be like, oh, yeah, that don't make sense. It's really that simple. You just have to look at it for a second. It's not hard. Like, it's literally 1 + 1 = 2. Why are we doing all this extra shit? What are you doing? Stop. Never.
That part.
Never stop, because that's just, it's always this too, because you see these, they're such radical ideas, but in reality, it's just, let's make it simpler.
Let's make it simple. Let's make it plain.
Like
Let's
how
make it
people
fair.
say defund the police and y'all hear abolish. I don't understand. Like they got different letters.
But the crazy
There's
part
different
about it is,
sounds.
the
Like-
crazy part about it is police officers would benefit from defunding police because the police are stretched so thin. Police are not social workers. They should not be popping up on calls with special needs individuals. They should not be going to suicide calls. They should not be doing this. The police are not like this Captain America of the world. We stretch the police so thin, and if they could realize that this could be beneficial for the both of them, but this system have them so brainwashed that they think above being used by the elite. No. Like
No,
this
I want them
country.
abolished. That's what I want. I want them gone. You figure something else out. We got to throw the whole thing away.
I think I agree. So here's my thought. I think that me personally, I think everything has to go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
nothing. Like if
absolutely.
we can't keep anything
Everything.
we currently have because it was started wrong. Like everything has to go and has to be restarted, and that's why I feel like nothing will change. Because
But you know the
if
power.
we don't, we're still building on that same rocky, ugly, horrible foundation.
But I'm saying
the power of the elite.
Underneath. That's the
Right.
The
thing. It's
power
like,
of the
you're
elite
trying to
is
build us into a system. We are underneath right now. We are still the foundation. We're underneath it. You have to pick it up and throw it away. We can't get out from under this.
Yeah. And the
Still on
power
top
of
of
the elite is that they make white people and they make minorities that aren't black people okay as long as they not niggas. Oh, they vote against their interest every single time.
Man,
they coincide with beliefs that do not benefit them because at least you're not the niggas. At least you're not seen as the black people in this country. And that is why when people say, how do I be an ally? Realize that your race do not matter. It doesn't matter to the people that really run this country. When MLK realized that this whole kumbaya shit wasn't working, when MLK started to get together poor white people, that's when they put a bullet in his ass. Because as long as he was talking about, oh, the black people are oppressed, they didn't give a damn because they were openly oppressing us. When he also let the white people know that they were oppressed too, nah, nigga, you too powerful. You gotta go.
That Rainbow Coalition?
Every single year, they whitewash MLK and Martin Luther King. MLK and Malcolm X more and more and more. When they started to let all poor people, all races know how this country had all of us fucked up, that's when they killed him. But we can't convince these people, hey, you are in the same boat as us.
Because I don't
They
think
don't
it's
want
the
to
same
hear
no
it.
more. I think maybe in the past they voted against their own interest. Now, no, racism is part of the interest. Racism is an interest.
Oh
That is
yeah,
now
no,
part of the
no.
package.
Like
They ain't
you're
voting against that shit because they
But
want that shit.
racism is a part of the interest that keeps them distracted enough to where they're still fucked up too. So
But
yes,
it's just
no,
like
racism is a
you're
very real problem, but it's a like your poor ass does not have enough money for you to matter for real. But as long as I could keep you distracted with at least you not the niggas, I can do to you what I want to do to you.
yeah, because then
And
it's
it's
like
really sad.
you
We
have
saw
that
this
thing
with
going for you.
the bill that they passed with the Stop Asian Hate. Do y'all remember when that 16-year-old got her back blown, cleaned the fuck off in that store because she thought she was trying to steal like some orange juice or
Orange
bubble
juice.
gum or something
here's my
stupid?
thing. We
Juice.
don't
She
even
was
really gotta.
shit.
For me,
But
we don't
every
even
year we
really
have to
gotta
go
go
through
that
that shit
far.
because every year there's that one, I don't remember her name, the one Asian journalist every year that tries to make it like black people did this inherently to
No.
terrorize Asians. And it's like
And
you're
we
forgetting
don't even have
the
enough power
inciting
for
piece.
this.
Like you were forgetting the inciting piece. First of all, you were in our neighborhoods. So how the fuck were we the ones that incited it? Like you're talking about we incited it. There was an inciting incident. A little
Like
girl
that
died.
6-year-old. That 6-year-old got shot at by an Asian man for playing in his neighborhood.
And he said that shit
And the
straight up.
story just fizzled away.
He said that shit straight
So
up.
for me,
He said
Started
that
to go
straight up.
crazy for homie.
For me, you don't even have to go that far. All you have to look is we got a bill for Asians when the number of Asians that had hate crimes done to them in the last decade isn't even 20% of black people in last year.
Thank you.
So like when you
But
have
yeah,
you,
we were
it's
still
such
the
a big
ones getting
deal
blamed.
that we had 7 Asian people killed in hate crimes that year that we got a whole bill. We have 200 black people killed a year for hate crimes. And those are only the ones that they can actually figure out. Not all of them. Because the truth of the matter is we don't get hate crimes. It's hard to get a hate crime proved.
Yeah,
it is really hard. So of the ones we got proved, 200 of them, and we like it's
what's crazy to me is that other minorities don't recognize that the only reason white people align for you is for numbers and optics. That's it. You do not matter. And when I say white people, I don't feel the need to say, oh, not all white people. When I say white people, I mean this fucked up ass system. If you don't have enough common sense to know that I know that not every single white person is evil, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. And if my words,
no, all the white people I fuck with,
oh well, so is racism.
Right. I was gonna say the white people I know. They know.
So it's living this shit.
With, like really
so it's having to explain to my 11-year-old, hey, you're going to have to chill out. You can't show your emotions. You have to compartmentalize. 11. He is 11. But because he is bigger than some of the police officers I worked with, I have to monitor every fucking movement, hand gesture, facial expression, because I don't want it to come off as him being grown or a threat. I did an article when I was talking about missing white woman syndrome, and I said that they did a study with specifically police officers, because this was done with teachers too, where they showed them the pictures of black children compared to white children. They got the kids wrong on an average of about 5 years. They thought black kids were older. They thought they were more criminal. They thought they were more sexual. This shit never goes away. They did it with teachers, same result. Even with fucking nurses. Oh, you exaggerating. You're not in that much pain. Why in this first grade country, because we love to call other countries third world countries, black women die more giving birth in the fucking hospital than they do at home?
It is literally
it's ridiculous.
It is literally safer for a black woman to get an abortion than to give birth, and y'all don't think there's a reason for that?
It's absolutely asinine. We're not believe. I suffer from migraines. I've had so many medical ailments, and it's like, why don't you go to the doctor? Either doctors want to give me the strongest medication possible that you can easily get addicted to, or they're like, well, maybe you're stressed. Have you tried taking a nap? Bitch, if naps cured migraines, I would sleep all day. All day. No question. What the hell? Or
All right,
I get
we're getting up to the 2-hour mark. How we feeling?
Why when you said that, I thought of the song, I Feel Good.
Which song?
Baby, I feel good all over. I can't think of who's Stephanie Mills.
I was like, I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
My mama was a huge Stephanie
When you
Mills
said
fan.
I feel good, I was like, oh my mama, oh my. That's what was in my head. That's what I heard. But how we feeling? Because I know it's like about to be 11 for you. It's about to be 10 for us down here. I know fam still got 2 hours on us.
Yeah, I'm fading.
You fading?
I am.
I like how there's 2 other people on the screen and I asked the question and both of y'all ain't say nothing. It's cool.
I'm good. I'm good with whatever.
I had 2 hours on you, so I'm not. I'm here.
Okay, you good? All right. You want to do your outro, Britt?
I'm Britt. My outro is same as my intro. Y'all have an amazing night.
Nice. Oh, check your email. I sent you that poem.
I saw it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Got you.
No, this right here, for real. If by some miracle I do end up having children, this is gonna be a whole thing. Cause nah. Mm-mm.
I had a midwife with my first. She was awesome. And I had a Black male doctor deliver my oldest child.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Black doctors are important, like for real.
They really are.
Like
they really are. Did you see the doctor that braided? It was a Black surgeon, and this woman needed brain surgery, and he braided her hair instead of cutting her hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things.
Just little nuances.
Little things. It's the little things for sure. All right, want to do another sprint?
Yep.
Okay. Let's get that timer up. I don't know this one. There we go. Because I would like to hit 500 words for the day.
Damn.
I would like to do that. All right, y'all. And 3, 2, 1. Y'all write them words. All right. How did everybody do? Let me know how you did in the comments. And how did my lovely co-host do? It's down to 1. Dun, 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 dun. Now Trap said she'd be back.
I ate, so I ain't writing nothing.
I mean, food is good. Food is good. So, I'm not gonna hold you up. There she is. Ow.
What
How
up?
was it for you?
My child made my sprint unproductive.
That's fair.
So I got some stuff done, but the truth is I realized that it was almost time for my Duolingo to reset. So I did quite a few Spanish lessons during the sprint. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I did write a little bit, but not a lot. Because I was mostly doing a Spanish lesson. Because here's the thing. We want to talk about being great as Americans, but most of us only speak one language, and I find that upsetting.
Man, listen.
And I'm trying to fix it. I don't want to be that way.
I feel it.
Sorry, my phone was going off. Let me put this thing on vibrate. My bad. Yeah, so that's what I did during the sprint. With Juneteenth being today and this month being Pride Month, what's an LGBTQIA plus Black History fact you've learned recently? And if you don't have one, you can figure one out within the next time of the sprint. The one I gave yesterday was I did not know that James Baldwin also critiqued movies. And
Nice.
he did a critique of a movie. Let's see if I can pull it up again. So I can read. The critique was just everything. Oh no, I took a screenshot of it, I think. Screenshots. I know there's a screenshot folder in these pictures now. There it is. Okay. So it was for the 1958 film The Defiant Ones, in which Tony Curtis and Sidney Poitier play escaped convicts who are shackled to each other. And this was what he wrote, and I just thought it was just... Y'all wait till you hear it. Okay. It is impossible to accept the premise of the story, a premise based on the profound American misunderstanding of the nature of the hatred between Black and white. There is hatred, certainly, though I am now using this word with great caution and only in the light of the effects or the result of hatred. But the hatred is not equal on both sides, for it does not have the same roots. This is perhaps a subtle argument, but Black men do not have the same reason to hate white men as white men have to hate Blacks. The root of the white man's hatred is terror, a bottomless and nameless terror, which focuses on the Black surfacing and concentrating on this dread figure, an entity which lives only in his mind. But the root of the Black man's hatred is rage, and he does not so much hate white men as simply want them out of his way, and more than that, out of his children's way. And I was just like, if that's not the truth, it's like, just leave us alone. Like, literally, that's really all we want.
That part.
And I was like, not you were writing this about a movie that came out in 1958, and I'm living in 2022, and I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Because they still ain't got out the goddamn way.
Right.
Like, you're still dedicating your entire life to making life hard for other people. And that's sad. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad that there's...
I can't imagine
people like that. I don't feel bad for
legitimately
them
having...
directly, but I feel bad.
I couldn't imagine legitimately having all the privileges they do and still using my time to disenfranchise people that I think are less than me.
Right.
Like, if I'm being really
Right,
honest,
like,
like thinking that if I think that I'm better than someone, I'm not spending any of my time thinking about how to make their life harder, because I already feel like my life is exponentially better than theirs. There's nothing I need to do to them. Like, they already have a hard life. I don't have to make it harder. Like, it's weird to me. Like, it's something evil and insidious about being that type of person, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
And it's like they're the one race that doesn't have to worry about being generalized when in reality you're the only ones. If anybody deserves to be generalized, they're the only
Because
ones
y'all
that should be generalized because you're all living off the same systems, you're doing the same shit. It don't even matter what you actually believe or if you actually like black people, whatever. If you're still living off these systems and not actively working to deconstruct them, then you are also part of the problem and thus still part of that demographic that we're talking about. Like that's just the fucking facts.
and I mean the truth is like if we're being honest, like I would never want to trade places. I would
Shit.
never want to trade
Because I don't
places.
want to be
Like
that pathetic. Like what the hell?
I like no, like, and I would not like I can't imagine how much work it must be to deconstruct your life on a daily basis to not be anti-black.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how hard it is as a black person to not engage in anti-blackness. So I can't imagine when it's my entire life. Like
Okay.
that's not a cross I don't want to bear if I'm being honest. Like so it's
This
not
is
at all to say
it's
that it's easy, but nothing valuable is easy, right? Like that's the biggest part about being an American that we like to push, that it's work. We worked for it. We worked for okay, well then work to dismantle this oppression that y'all created. Let's do that.
well, the
It's
thing
not
is
gonna
like
be
you ain't work
easy to
you got other
dismantle it.
people to work
Right.
for you. Like that's the
Right.
problem is like you're in the
That
same
part.
place. Even if you're paying your employees now, you still have employees. You're still not doing shit. So I don't know what the hell y'all are complaining about. Talking about we worked for you ain't work for nothing. You got money from your slave owning daddy, and you put it towards other people who are still doing the work for you. So who are we talking about? Who worked for what? You ain't work for shit.
Man, there's a girl that I follow on Instagram and she started this follow the blood money on her TikTok and Instagram, and it's
Oh
pretty much
wow.
like going back to like companies and things that were like around during slavery times and how like they've changed names and changed owners, but like the start of the company started there. So like I want to say one of them was like New York Life Insurance Company, and it was just like how it used to be this entity that used to insure slaves. So whenever you banked with this bank and you got dividends, it was based off of like the slavery. So like if you made money off of this at any point in time, you made money off of slavery, full stop. Even if you
Wow.
didn't have slaves, solely because you banked with this bank, and that's how the revenue and things work like that at the time. And just the more that I was watching the videos and things like that, like it was like it solidified for me something that reading Dr. Ian K. Smith's The Ancient Nine, because it's based off of like the like not fraternities, but like the like social clubs that Harvard has that are like super elite and have been around since like the founding of the school and everything. And in him telling you like the history of it, lay down the history of it, you hear how much money is in that school and like how much money they poured into this school at a time when slavery was big. And so then you find out like this school is like $1 billion industry.
Sheesh.
Like there is so much money that went into Harvard through that time, and you find that out. And so like in her doing this series, it's like there's nothing in this country that was created before slavery that doesn't have, or that before slavery ended, that doesn't have ties into that financially. Like that's a
I
lot
can
to
see it.
think about, that things now today are still profiting off of slavery back then for things that they have.
Of
That's
course not. No
crazy.
system in this country that doesn't have
Right.
roots in that.
Yeah.
Right.
I found out that accounting started with slaves, ledgers, and even a mortgage didn't start off for houses, but it started off for slaves. That crap is wild to me. Like the whole accounting industry
The
started because
stock
of slavery.
market, Wall Street was about slaves. It was not about like it wasn't about
Well,
the
it's
things that it's
all of
about
it.
now.
Yeah, stocks, bonds, life insurance,
Right.
police, all that shit.
Right.
So
was
then
to
you have to sit back and
property.
ask yourself, why the fuck we have it
Right.
now? Like, what are we doing with it now? Because you have not adapted it in any way to a changing society. It's the same shit. It just looked
Right.
different.
Right. That's the part. I learned said Bayard Rustin was MLK right hand man. Yeah, when I learned that, I thought when I learned about him, I started like reading more articles and trying to find more about him. Because again, I feel like we don't talk a lot about like the supporting people in these situations, because the truth of the matter is none of this can be done alone. We have to do it together. And that's part of why the infiltration of Black liberation movements has always been the number one tool of white supremacy. Because the truth of the matter is they know that we need each other, and they know that the only people we're going to trust are each other.
Yeah.
Every time. Yale had slaves and slave cabins on the property. Insane. Yes, the Booker Prize, which is a top literary award in the UK, is tied to slavery. I mean, y'all know how I feel about so many of these awards. And like for me, it's also like the not acknowledgement of the racism in them, right? Like you can acknowledge that somebody was a classic writer and wrote really great stories, and still acknowledge that they lived in a time where Black people were considered property. So there's very little that we could ever prove that they saw Black people as more than property. Like that's the truth of that time. And y'all trying to make people think that it's not is ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing, is like you want Black people to get over everything, but y'all glorify and romanticize the past. Every time somebody dies, they all of a sudden become a fucking saint, like they ain't never done nothing wrong in their life ever.
That part.
And it always goes back to that whole, respect the dead. And that's one thing, to respect that they're dead. But if they were a trash person in real life, like when they were alive, then they're a trash person dead. Like I don't care.
That part.
Just the fact is like everybody else is trying, and that's the scariest thing to me. I'm saying like death. I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of what comes after death. I'm afraid of white people quoting me, taking some shit I said out of context, whitewashing it against my people, the people that I was talking for, like to twist me and use me against my people. Absolutely, motherfucking not. Absolutely not.
Right.
Like, don't.
Right there with you.
Hunt everybody. I don't give a fuck about nothing. That's just the scariest thing to me, for real, is being twisted so badly. And it's just like the fact is, people who were around when MLK was around, there's people still alive, and y'all are still making them out to be somebody. Ruby Bridges is still alive.
The video.
Y'all are still making
I forgot.
That it wasn't.
I forgot what person it was, but the person that was there for the assassination, and he slipped up and said, "No, I moved so they could get a clear shot." And it was like, my nigga, do you realize what you just said? That you moved, like you were a part of it, so you moved so they could. You didn't think about this before you just spoke it.
For me, it's the fact that Ruby Bridges' mother just recently passed, right? So that means that the parents of the kids who were shouting out and talking about killing her, there's still a great chance that them people are still alive. Like
the lady who lied on Emmett Till is still alive. Ain't nobody gonna look for her, and she admitted she lied.
Right. For me, it's the actuality that like, nah, y'all. We've done nothing to punish racism, right? Like the truth of the matter is when the Civil War ended, we didn't do nothing. We let y'all go back home and go back to y'all lives. We didn't do that to Germany. Germany had to pay.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And America was the one right there talking about y'all need to do reparations.
Y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do this. Right. And it's
right now. Who was talking?
Not only did y'all let people go back home to their plantations, y'all paid people for the slaves that they couldn't have no more.
But the slaves themselves, they ain't getting nothing.
They didn't get
nothing. And then what happened? You had to go back and work for the
when they were supposed to get released. Because we celebrate Juneteenth right now.
work for them for maybe 10 more cents, 20 more cents, you still working for the same white man
Man.
that let you
Except
go, that had
now
to let you go.
you're getting told that you're gonna get paid, but you getting taxed. So every time it come out
Mm-hmm.
by the end of the season, you owe money.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in what?
They got us.
Perpetual
Shit.
slavery?
All of it. And then when that stopped working, they made prisons. And once that
Man.
stopped working, they'll find something else because
The way that
nobody
people
wants
don't
to
talk
face
about
it and do
how
nothing.
for the longest time you could lease prisoners, like convict leasing was a thing. Regular people could lease convicts to come work on their farms. So you mean that y'all paid the
No,
government?
this isn't a used to thing. They still
Right.
lease prisoners. They
Right.
just work for the
They're
corporations.
still
That part.
working for companies. That's what I'm saying. Like they're
Right.
still making products. They're still working for
That part.
nothing.
Right.
Like it's still happening. That's what I'm, like. It's the
I just
same
meant
thing too.
more
It's
so like the convict leasing program, like individuals
right.
could
That's
like
crazy
Like
to me.
now it's
right.
under the
Now
table.
it's
Now it's not
corporations
wild
can
white.
do it. Right. Insane.
This is wild
In
though. It,
But people love to
mm.
talk about the education to prison pipeline. People never talk about the defects to prison pipeline. People never talk about the foster care to prison pipeline because the amount of defects workers that children got away from them on my 911 call. How did this child get away from you on the side of a highway in the middle of the day? Where is this child? And the officers, so stupid, they must have ran away. How does a child run away from a car on a highway without a trace?
Here's the thing too though. Like jumping off of that, I don't give a fuck. It's a child. I don't care what they
It's a
did. It's a child.
right.
Well, I don't care what you think they did,
Like
what
the
they
truth
actually did, what they
is
might have done. It's
regardless,
a
we know
child.
that kids don't know. Kids don't understand the ramifications of all the things they do. We
Oh,
understand
no,
that.
no, no. I
Exactly.
was
We know that.
implying that these kids didn't run away. They were just given to someone.
Oh no, I
And that's
believe
true
that.
too. Well, I'm just saying, even if that were the case, like even if you did run away, I don't care. Go find them.
Right.
It's a child.
Exactly.
My
Literally
job
a
is still
child.
to bring you home.
Like I
It's
literally don't give
ridiculous.
a fuck what you did. You could have told me you ran away. If I call somebody to come find you, I expect them to do that.
Right.
And if you can't do that, get somebody else who can. Because now you're useless to me.
I'm right there with you.
Why are you answering the phone? Why are you answering the call if you ain't finna do nothing?
I will say
Like
every time I'm reading a book that
yeah.
wants to discuss the ramifications of racism and slavery, but has their black MCs falling for white people, I get angry. It's confusing.
Yeah.
It's confusing. It really is. Because here's the truth. Like, and I can only speak for me. But you know, me and twins seem to be very similar in the way that we think. I, as a child, was reading books about racism and slavery and turned to my grandmother and was like, why are we even nice to white people? Like, there was no part of me that was like, I'm gonna go date a white boy after this. Like, that was not a thought because I couldn't understand why we even dealt with y'all.
That
So,
part.
like,
Right.
how
Like why
y'all
it's not
have
even like
kids, it don't make sense to me.
it's just it's the same principle of if this knife cut you 10, 20, 30 times and you put the motherfucker down, why am I gonna go back and play with it? Why am I gonna go back and play with it? And you grow up because that's how they teach you, right? Hey, you stick a fork in the socket, it's gonna shock you 9 times out of 10. That's what's gonna happen. And then they let you do it that one time. That shit happens. Oh, we learned our lesson. That's done. Why on earth would you go and play with the same motherfucking lighter matches or book of matches or whatever the fuck? Harm your family, harm everybody before you harm. The whiplash I got, and because I hadn't read the book, but the whiplash I got in the theater watching Hate You Give, and this girl runs into the arms of a white boy. I didn't understand where the story. Like I get you're trying to say like
I
she growing
haven't
up in
seen
a white
or read that
school,
either.
whatever. I don't care again because you have this little girl trying to come to terms with there's racism. and she stays with this white. And again, with you got the little girl in Legendborn trying to. You're talking about black girl magic. I'm trying to own my blackness and show that black girls are magic, but then you got her in over two white boys who threatened to kill her the moment they met her. And you're talking about this is what we want. No. What are you trying to tell our kids? That they have to let white people treat them this way? That they have to love them anyway, protect them anyway, defend them anyway, rescue them anyway, even when they talk to us like this, even when they threaten to kill us, even when they want us dead? That's what you want my babies to learn? Absolutely motherfucking not. Again, go to therapy. Talk to somebody about your internalized anti-blackness before you start trying to teach our kids that what they need to do is assimilate to whiteness, is to make white people comfortable. That's the only way they're gonna like you, baby. If you make them fuck that.
Yeah,
Why?
that
Why would
was
we ever teach
irritating.
our children that? And I
I
can
damn sure don't
understand,
teach mine that.
right?
I'm
And I
like,
can
but
understand,
yeah,
like,
like it's
you want
weird
your
to
kids
me.
not to, like, obviously there are things that you have to teach your kids. We don't want to teach them, like you were talking about. My brother is 6'6". They've told my brother he was a problem child since the day he was born. They had him on all kinds of pills, all kinds of bullshit, talking about he was schizophrenic and he was, a problem child. Told every teacher before he went into their class that he was a problem child. So they looked at my brother like that already. And then he was always the tallest. And it was like this thing of we always have to where I'm so worried I'm gonna get the call one day. And he lives in New Mexico, and they just made that 100-mile border rule for the border patrol. And let me tell you, in Alamogordo, New Mexico, the border patrol never shows up without cops, ever. My dad just got out of prison. They have already raided his house without probable cause 4 times. The idea that one day I'm gonna get a call that my brother got killed because he didn't act the way he was supposed to act when somebody came into his house that he didn't know. Like the idea that we have to live with that. Like that's just a reality that we have to adjust to and conform to. Absolutely not. Why the fuck would I agree to that?
Trayvon hit
Oh,
me different because at the time, Trayvon Martin, my youngest brother, I'm 38 years old. My youngest brother turns 21 this year. There is a huge age difference between the two of us. And my brother's very mild, very meek, I'm so afraid that I'm going to get that call as well. We lived in a neighborhood and my brother's homeschooled. He was homeschooled up until he graduated high school. A little boy pulled a knife on him. School didn't care. My mama was like, and we're done. Pulled him out of school, put him in homeschool. Did great. He was walking around the neighborhood and it was on the Nextdoor app, the little group chats. Who is this kid? Why is he skipping school? So I politely took my black with a capital B ass into this group chat. This child is homeschooled. If you call the police on him, I will call the police on you, and we can discuss why you're tracking the whereabouts of a minor and what's going on in your mind. I'm not going to be on this interweb every day telling y'all leave him alone. And it even with policing, there was an officer. He was looking for someone that had was doing illegal activity. This is going to sound so crazy. He started watching the house, and I noticed it because I work for the police department. So I'm like, my car, guy with binoculars. Hey, player, what you doing? He saw the vest, the little crescent on my jacket because I had just got off work. So he sees this police department crescent. He was like, "You live here? I do. What you need?" So he told me what he was looking for. And when I say that child that he was looking for looked just like my brother. Like he looked so much like my brother, my blood ran cold. Like if you would have mistaked him and my brother got aggressive, what would have happened? Because my brother doesn't know you from a can of paint and predators are real. So once I told this officer, hey, buddy, I showed him a picture of my brother, not him. This boy is not that boy. Never saw him again. Not only did I not see him again, I didn't see any type of officer looking at our house again. That is so rare. Even with Black officers, that is so rare. He was like,
He
I'm
was not
so
the racist
sorry to have
black. It's
bothered
consistent.
you. He said, I'm a by the book guy. I didn't know. I thought they were the same kid. And they really did. Like, he had a leg to stand on. They looked just alike, same facial structure, same haircut. And it's just when we have us in mind, when we don't try to assimilate, it makes a difference in every aspect of our lives, including our professions. Even when others assimilate, when you have that integrity there, it shows. Because not only did that man apologize to me, he said, I'm going to make sure I tell everybody, hey, that's not him. And he made good on his word.
No, the truth is that the people don't realize that being yourself, not code switching, not assimilating, does so much more for us as a whole than you'll ever realize.
You
Because
could literally save a life.
that means the next person is less likely to have to deal with stuff because they didn't already had to deal with you being authentically yourself. So they're
That
more
part.
prepared for it, right? Like, it's not gonna make it easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it makes it easier. Like,
That
that's
part.
the thing that people don't think about is like every time you don't say something because you're trying to be the nice black person, the black person that does say something looks crazier. They look like something's wrong with them because they're the ones who refuse to stop to assimilate. So all the rest of y'all make them look like they the only person that got a problem with it. No, we all hate it.
Yeah.
We all go through it. We all dislike it. And when you don't speak up for yourself, when you don't correct people, when you don't put people in their place, it makes it that much harder for the black person that is
I
going
just
to
don't understand why people don't understand. Silence is compliance. Silence is agreement. Silence is dismissive as fuck at best. And you can possibly get somebody killed at worst. All you have to do is speak up and be yourself.
Right.
It's not even like black people at this point, we're not even asking ourselves to do any excessive work.
Right.
Because one, we didn't create the problem. Two, yeah, it's not a thing that we can do 24/7. Like, we're tired just being in a world that hates you and wants you dead. Like, it not only just wants you dead, it depends on your oppression. This country would not exist without our oppression. It would not exist without uh the dehumanization of us as a people. It would not be here. That's the point. That's a fact that nobody can take away. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Uh, so the idea that every individual person, every individual black person would have to try and do some heavy lifting in a world, an entire world that was built on our oppression. That's crazy as fuck. How would anybody be able to do that? We burn out so fast. Like, that's the thing too, is like, here's what either our joy is so much more of a weapon than we think it is. Just being alive is enough half the damn time, because yeah, it do make them mad, but eventually they're gonna have to take that mask off. This whole politic and shit, this whole, oh, we're doing it for this reason, not racism, etc., etc. No, they gotta take that mask off eventually, and eventually the excuses run out. The excuses for us to play respectability politics, because that's who we're waiting on. We're waiting on the niggas who are still playing the respectability politics. We're not waiting on everybody who's already accepted this is the world that we live in and we're going to live in it anyway. Like, I'm not waiting for niggas like me that are like, look, this is who we are and this is what we do and this is how we're going to do it. The idea that I'm sitting here and I'm writing fiction, it probably doesn't to the so-called big activists that go out and do whatever the fuck they do. It probably don't seem like a lot, but the thing is, guess what? Every time I push a book, the shit's published. You're never gonna get rid of it. There's always going to be a copy. There's always going to be a place where a black person can go to a world that they already exist in, run in, thrive in, belong in. You can't take that away no more. Imagine having to try and find that book in a haystack of, the divisive titles, as they call them, because you can take those out and pretend it's because they're divisive and not just because it's about black people and the shit you did to them. Like, you can make up all these excuses and you can keep catching strays every time you put a book out like that panders our pain and you're trying to teach white people something, because that's what it is, really. Stop trying to teach white people something. Stop trying to make racists love you. Do some shit for you. Do some shit for your people. Do some shit for your community. Because that's the shit that's going to endure. That is the shit that's going to stay alive. We are not doing, like, everybody always wants to talk about, oh, this isn't our grandparents' civil rights movement. You damn right, because they were in the streets. What you motherfuckers?
Right. They were literally physically putting their bodies
I'm
on
saying,
the
like,
line.
it was
Like,
they were sacrificing.
Right. Like, no lie, we are complaining about gas, right? And not to say that the gas ain't bad, but like getting beat, getting tarred and feathered, like dogs and water hoses, like stuck
going
on
to jail.
You, like it was a different time.
Spending more time in jail than at home.
Right.
Going across the country.
Like, think about how many people had jail time and felony records for standing up for themselves.
Yeah, think about how many people who were fighting for rights and couldn't vote.
And couldn't vote.
Who were still out
fighting for the right to vote and couldn't because they stood up for the right to vote. Like, it's insane.
So it's like, look, our activism may have changed, but stop acting like we're doing it the way they were doing it. And I think it's just because now, because I mean, they could kill him without impunity back then too, but it's just a thing of like, it now we've become so complacent with it. Because you kill one of us and all of us get up for a little bit and then we're exhausted because we got gas prices to deal with and capital to deal with. And the fact that if you miss a day of work, it could literally make you homeless. Like, they got us. They knew what they were doing when they continued to build upon the same systems and make them to the point where if we for even one day stepped away, because it's never going to be all of us. That's the only way that we can stop all this shit is everybody would have to say, I'm not going to go to work today.
Right.
I'm not
and that's the part. Man, the way that that concept, I had put that idea back before they finally decided to pay athletes in NCAA. And I was like, if all the black athletes decided not to play, and I said, the hard part is somebody you don't ever know how bad somebody else wants it. And they know that they've created a system where there's another little black boy who knows that this is the only way he's going to get out the hood. And so, yeah, these might have been through the trenches for a year and realize, hey, this ain't all it's cracked up to be. I'm going to sit down and not play. But you got that boy whose mama is working 3 jobs and can't put him through school, but he can catch that ball. He'll go play. Because he's not thinking about us as a whole, because he got too much to worry about.
I mean, it's not even just him. Like, it's not even the little boy that needs it. It's all the black people that already have it. So, I mean, they don't need it either, but it's all because, like, you remember Colin Kaepernick did all this. Everybody was like, we're behind you. They weren't really behind him. But then Jay-Z, who was like, yeah, I got your back. We'll start our own league. Then went into the NFL office and was like, oh, he did part already. It's my turn. He took over. He sold out. Yeah, and everybody was still like, yeah, I'm going to go to lunch with Jay-Z instead of take $1 million. Nah, I'm going to go to lunch with him so I can sock him in his motherfucking
face. Yeah, no, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation.
Me, please.
Because when that happened, I was like, nah. No, I don't know. I'm a fan of the Ice Cube camp. I'm going to have my league and I'm going to make sure people are getting paid in this league because I'm not pouring into this system that's been doing us wrong this whole time.
Jay-Z was so jacked up for that. It's another layer to that. Jermaine Dupri got this deal first. And Jay-Z told him, "Oh, I wouldn't do that. That's a bad look. I
But I
wouldn't."
mean,
And then he went and took the deal they were gonna give Jermaine Dupri because they like the artists in the South more than his artists.
and I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Jay-Z's been shady for a long ass time.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
that's just fucking
Very.
facts.
I've
Uh,
never liked Jay-Z, so
he
like there's
wouldn't
that.
he wouldn't be where he is right now if he hadn't stepped on black backs all the way there. Like that's just the fucking facts. He threw a lot of people under the bus. It is like
Yep.
there's a lot of people that threw. You're talking about some of you. If you think about some of the greatest black entertainers, athletes, whatever. Michael Jordan threw everybody under the bus, including his mama and his daddy. Like he threw everybody under the bus to be successful. You're talking about the other every black person of power. No, because P. Diddy, Jay-Z, all the motherfuckers could have had one meeting and put an end to all that shit. And instead, they assimilated. Did they have to? They're the most powerful motherfuckers we got. No, they didn't have to, but they did that just to
And
prove yet
even if
again.
you thought you had to in the 90s, you don't now.
Not at that, not
So
at all.
that's my
And
thing is
especially not
I
Jay-Z.
understand playing along, getting along to get by, right? Because that was so much of what we had to do as a people. I get that. But there is a certain level of change that happens when you reach the place where you don't gotta get along just to get by anymore. And the one thing that I feel like either y'all are saying is you never stop getting along to get by because you're never going to reach that level with them because you're always going to be below. Like that's literally the only message I get if I'm being honest.
And that's the thing
Is that
and that's the thing about respectability. You can be
Right.
respectable for your whole life, but you want to be respectable for people who have
Will Smith.
given their entire lives to disrespecting you. Who are you being respectable for? They don't like you. They don't want to like you. They never will like you. They do not respect you as a person, as a human being. They do not respect you and never will. So to sit there and try to play nice, you want to be another one of their dolls in their little dollhouse and think that you're gonna be loved, my nigga. They ain't never gonna love you. They ain't
That
never
part.
loved you. They can't love you. You are not a human being to them. The dude said it. The guy, the Houston Texans guy said it. He was like, it's like the prisoners have run of the prison. Yeah, because that's his mindset. Y'all are all property to him. All of y'all. So think about it because we're talking about the NFL. Think about it if every black person in the NFL and the NBA, and they all sat down. They all said, nope, we're not going to play. You can't find enough niggas. You won't find enough niggas in the NCAA. You won't find enough niggas on the street, in the park, whatever.
They'll get real unseasoned real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, right. And that's my whole thing is like the other part of that is the conversation never is that integration of sports happened because the competition wasn't there.
Exactly.
Like that's part of the reason. It was
Integration
money
of sports happened because black people are the new gladiators.
Right.
You're literally paid slaves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing. It was more money and it was better competition. This is why everything kept changing. More money and better competition because people wanted to see a challenge.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like they only like you if you're their entertainment. That's it.
Part.
They will pay you that money as long as you are entertaining them. The moment you stop entertaining them,
no matter what they're paying you, it's only a fraction of what they're getting.
They're paying white.
So like when we celebrate LeBron being a billionaire, my dude, there are like 20 billionaires getting paid because he plays.
But you know what I love about LeBron though?
No, yeah, love LeBron. Like not necessarily.
LeBron fired the white guy they had for him and was like, I'm gonna put my friend on.
And
my other friend, if I gotta have a private chef, it's gonna be my friend. I'm gonna put him through culinary school. If I have to have a driver, it's gonna be my friend. I'm gonna invest in his limousine or his whatever company. Every single person around him is somebody he grew up with that stayed 10 toes down with that man. And his integrity is just top notch.
Right, yeah.
But we can't act like, and I love LeBron too, but we cannot act like he's never played respectability politics too, because there are some people that he has backed that are just not good for Black people, have never been good for Black people, will never be good for Black people.
Oh yeah,
There
no, I
are
feel like
people
again,
who
I
have
feel
been
like that's
abusers that
part
he's Black. There are people that he
that's
should
part
definitely
of,
not be
to
talking
me,
for.
that's part of what capitalism does to
Yeah.
us.
It
Because here's
gives
the
you
thing,
that otherism.
because the truth of the matter is if it wasn't for capitalism and the greed that it creates, you wouldn't. Because the only reason to go along is to keep money. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And it's not like you weren't already astronomically rich.
But y'all, I gotta hop off.
Yeah, no, I know we getting to 3 hours now anyway, so I was like, I figured we could call it anyway. But we're gonna have to do this again because whenever me and Twin is on, whenever me and Trap is on, it's always a good blackity black conversation. I got y'all in the description box, but if y'all have outros or things y'all want to let the people know, let's let them know before we get on out of here.
I am Sherrell Writes. You can find me on the Newsbreak app. I put the link in the comments on YouTube. Please follow my page. I write about Black missing minorities, or just missing minorities in general, but heavy on the Black and Indigenous. So if you just want to support the cause, it's free, and keep up with Black stories you will never ever see on mainstream media. Please follow me.
And I'm RN Virtues. And when you need a break from all the hard work we got to do every day, you can read my fiction, where it's all escapism, all Black, Indigenous, other non-white, very non-white, full queer stories. And you can find me on Twitter, being loud, at RN Virtues, or just rnvirtues.com. You can find all my stuff there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I got that in the description box for everybody. So I got IG, Twitter, Medium for Trap. I got website, Twitter, Patreon, IG for RM. Twitter, IG, Twitch, Patreon for Maya, Twitter, IG for Brit. So we got everybody in there. And Brit too. So everybody's down in the description box. There's the link. Yeah, so consider supporting. We appreciate y'all being here. Tomorrow I'm off from streaming. I might do a pop-up on Twitch. And then Tuesday we're back on my channel for the Edgar Allan Poe read along, another week of Eddie P, going into these classics and talking about it some more. And then I'm trying to think, there's something else I was gonna do this week. Oh, y'all, there will be a poem being submitted for the Pride and Prejudice anthology that will be coming out this week. So y'all stay tuned for that. That video will be going up. It is going to be very personal, very open, very honest, and I'm ready to share it with y'all. So be looking out for that video coming soon. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your night. Thank y'all for rocking with us if you're watching now or on the replay, and I will see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.